Go Beaver! Away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is finally here, and that's not a pun. It is time for the grand final of Season 17 Premiership Highlander, and we'll find out who will be your ETF2L reigning champions. There is a choice between two, and they are names you will have heard many, many times. Super Dickmann's KANNONEN have been in the final a number of times. Season 12 and 13 champions, no less. One of only 3 teams to ever win the title more than once. Can they join an elite crew and win it for a third time? Facing against them are the team who have been in the final for the past 3 iterations of ETF2L. JOEYOTECH Feila, also known as Feila Esports, have been runners-up in seasons 14, 15, and 16, and they are in the final once again, but this time they are the top seeds. I am CeeJaey. Joining me tonight for this monumentous occasion is Wiethoofd on the production and jakeowaty, my co-caster. My dude, are you hyped for this game?
This has got to be the longest month I had to wait for a game of this caliber in a very long time. Seeing Feila and SDCK in the finals has been kind of prophesized before even the season started. I think we've casted some games and we've always been kind of talking that if this season was supposed to be the closest ever, then we'd probably see Feila and SDCK duke it out in the finals, and our kind of prayers as well as some hopes have finally come true, and now we see Feila Esports, JOEYOTECH Feila versus SDCK here tonight in the grand finals of Season 17 of Highlander League, ETF2L, and honestly, I could not be more hyped than this game tonight. CeeJaey, it's going to be a fantastic one to watch.
It should be. I mean, like you said, it was kind of prophesized. At the start of the season, everyone saw that, you know, there's always that changing of the guard. Some teams fold, some teams take a break, some teams come back. And we saw SDCK as one of those teams that did come back. They played UGC and Feila returning with slightly changed roster. But when you take a look at the tables, it hasn't been easy going. It hasn't been easy going, and I'm sure Wiethoofd is able to bring that amazing graphic up so you can see the table. It wasn't until week 5 that we actually knew we would actually see SDCK in the playoffs, because it was so close this season. The only guarantee was that Tourette's French club were going to be relegated. That was the only guarantee. But there was opportunities for Kitty to get into playoffs. Envision, Torpedo could have got second. They could have got third. SDCK could have been relegated. The only other guarantee, of course, was Feila guaranteed to be the first seed, and they had to play against SDCK. They could have made it a nightmare for them. However, they did lose on Badwater 2-0, losing all 6 points to Feila, meaning Feila top seeds, SDCK second, and they did in fact win that semi-final against Torpedo the other day, quite convincingly 2-0, meaning they are in the grand final. But of course, they're coming into this grand final as potentially the underdogs here. They are the team with the more experience. They are the team with the credibility of winning previous titles, Jake. But Feila are the higher seed, and you know, the form is on the side of Feila, except for that week, I believe we casted together at the end of December, where SDCK beat them in ETF2L, but then also beat them twice in UGC to win the UGC Premium title.
Honestly, for Feila, it's been pretty much straight going, with the exception of SDCK kind of throwing some rocks in their way. As for SDCK, they sort of had this long winding road down to the final, but will they take it home tonight? We'll see about that, CeeJaey. And obviously you can't talk about today's game without the heroes of the game itself. I mean, we have Feila, SDCK, both very well-known teams, the most famous teams in ETF2 in Europe at the moment. And those heroes obviously are the ones that you're going to see on the screen just a second. And blue team going to be SDCK. I'm going to start with them. And the rosters are as follow. For SDCK, Scout is going to be playing by Credu. Soldier is long-time TF2 enthusiast Jackie Legs. Yahoo, as always, will be burning on that Pyro class. Adiski will be spamming some nice bombs, as well as jumping in as the demo man. Sandburn, the veteran heavy, will obviously be playing that class. Clark on the engineer class as well. Long-time veteran player of this class in Team Fortress 2. Sprayer as well. Medic for SDCK. Sniper is going to be Kazarok, popping off this season, popping heads like they're grapes, and finishing up with Z-Man on the Spy class, always showing some nice strategies from the invisible sneaky Frenchman. As for JOEYOTECH Feila, for Scout, it's going to be played by Kunu, also long-time player, Sixes player as well. Good on the sniper rifle, even better on the meat shield machine that the Scout is. Included middle is going to be playing Soldier for them. V-Clocks, another good pyro in this game. It's going to be a one to watch. Joe and UFC, the legend, the myth, the man, the Flying Dutchman himself, is going to be playing on that demo man. Poker is going to be playing in the heavy class, spamming those rockets, not rockets, those are bullets, dummy. Spamfest on Engineer, the American talent, coming in to help them out a little bit this Saturday. And then Medic is Layla, the other part of the amazing duo that Joe and UFC and Layla form. Porky on the sniper class, popping those heads, as well as Mezzo on the spy, looking to backstab those backs.
I mean, you talk about the players, like these are some of the best players in Europe at the moment. I was just kind of going over in my head as you're going through the rosters there, looking at the SDCK lineup. Other than Credu, who I believe hasn't played a full Highlander season with the team, he's kind of played games here and there in Prem, but I don't think he's played a full Highlander season. And Kazarok, who is a late joiner to SDCK this season. Everyone else on that lineup for SDCK has one sort of player of the season on their respective classes. You know, they've all won, you know, Soldier, Pyro, Demo of the season, and things like that. But Diski coming in as the Merc for SDCK, like you said, Kunu's coming in to replace Crayon, who's normally the main scout. But Diski is the Merc for this final. As Elikor, I believe, is in Ireland, I've been told. So he's unavailable to play. But Diski, I think he's played every Prem final since Season 13 now. Season 13 he played for Strong Opinions against SDCK. Season 14, he played for Strong Opinions against Feila. 15, he played for Elephant against Feila. Season 16, he played his one only game last season for Strong Opinions against Feila. And again, he's playing now, merking in for SDCK against Feila. So he's been the demo man against Feila in the past 4 finals now. This is the 4th time in the row that Feila been in the final, and Diski's been present against them for every single one. So some great players there. I do believe we're going live soon, Jake. So do you want to hit us up with the pick bans? Who picked and banned what map?
Of course, and the pick bans are pretty straightforward here. Feila bidding in with a Gollywash ban. This is because SDK has won against Feila Esports on Gollywash itself. So 5 CP map, long one as well, and this is going to be a long game. So you better be ready to get rid of that map as soon as possible. And SDK banning Product. Product, more of a DM map, which is Feila really famous for. They really have the cohesion to go for, and banning Product was a good choice by the SDCK, and then they picked Badwater, which we are seeing right now. Most staple TF2 map you can get right next to Upward, and I think they're just gonna go for these standard strategies, maybe mix some new things in, but so will Feila as well. And Feila picking Coal Plant as their second map of choice, being a Koth map. Once again, they're really strong on those Koth maps. The DM and the cohesion really works a great deal for them. And then Feila finishing off the third map, if it goes to that much, is gonna be Steel, which I really could not have hoped for a better map than to finish these games off. Should we go to the golden round?
I don't think we've had Steel in a grand final in ETF2L at least since maybe Season 8, Season 7,
yeah.
A long time. And that's in some interesting picks there, which we'll kind of dwell on later, but SDCK's kicking things off here on Badwater. They are in the blue, and it is Feila in the red. They will be defending. SDCK are going to try and set as fast a time as they can. As we see the suicides come in, Jackie Legs and Adiski fly through the air. But no force out of Layla. They're just trying to get Layla out of the way, maybe force her Uber, get some damage down. Yeah, then Feila will try and beat the time afterwards. But yeah, pretty much standard hold here. We do see Spamfest with the sentry watching the tunnel, just kind of making sure they don't get the cap time too far up, Jake, but Sprayer's already out.
Oh, and Yahoo's going in with that Uber charge by Sprayer. There goes the counterpump by Leia onto V-Clogs, just pushing people away. Will the medic be able to get away? Yes, he will. Sprayer is all safe and sound, but he has done some major damage to enemies' morale, if anything. The sentry is still up, the dispenser as well, and the teleport just lost its entrance, but that's okay. They've utilized this Uber quite well, managed to bait it out of Layla, and now it will all go down to the next jump, which we are seeing right now. JakeowatyCast is jumping in. He's looking for the kill, but there's a lot of red bodies on top of that hill. Finds Joe with one rocket, but that is definitely not enough. Now Adiski is coming in as well, trying to help out, but there's just too much damage, too much spread out. And they cannot really finish off Layla. Neither they can finish off the sentry, which is currently blocking this car from being pushed in.
Yeah, Sprayer is so weak. We're down to about 7 HP there. And I don't know, really questionable push there from Feila earlier on. From SDCK. I'm not really sure what they were doing there. Just Uber versus Uber with just a singular pyro. We do see Adiski flying in again, gets some decent damage down onto a number of players, but not a single one of them dies. We do see Zaman, he's just focusing that teleporter. That is the meta these days, where spies just focus the teleporter on payload, because this point is just such a long distance from the spawn that having the teleporter up, getting those respawns in can really help. And Spamfest is well known for using the Eureka effect, going back to spawn and rebuilding that entrance so those teleports, the respawns can come in. Zaman again going for the sap. JakeowatyCast again going in for the launch. Layla takes about 40 HP, but that's not going to be enough. And SDCK spending a few minutes here, not really getting the forces, Jake. Do you think they should just go for another exchange or switch things up?
I'm not sure. Both medics currently at 100%, so we could maybe see another exchange coming up soon. Seep Sprayer is out of the spawn right now, moving with his friends towards the cliffside. Diski's leading the charge on this one. Yahoo's helping him out as well. Credit going on the card, True, hoping to use that diversion created by his team, but the early Uber comes out of the blue team. Red is really not worried just yet. Layla is still holding on at 100%. She is completely safe, surrounded by her friends from the team. I think she's the safest she could have been in that situation right now, and that Uber, despite best intentions, completely wasted by SDCK. Now they have to do something about this sentry. Sentry's finally gone down, thanks to some massive damage, and Uber finally coming out by Layla. Now Wiethoofd is just jumping away for Sprayer, and he's gonna get the kill onto Sprayer. Sprayer goes down. No medic for the attackers. That might be what saved Feila this first point for a little longer, CeeJaey.
Oh, V-Clocks. The first BM of the night, ladies and gentlemen, with a cheeky XD in the chat. I mean, I was wondering why they used the Uber there. They had this full Uber ad, like the push from SDCK did nothing, and they had this huge Uber advantage. And I thought, what are you doing? You're wasting this Uber, but the flying pirate with the jetpack gets it in, and SDCK now with less than a minute, they actually have to get something done here. But Zaman opens things up with a kill onto Poker. But they don't have enough players. Actually, no, Joe's gone down, and this is not looking good for Feila right now. They do have the Uber advantage, Jake, but 20% Uber ad when you're like 4 or 5 players down. They have to be careful. I think SDK may be able to grind this out. It's all going to be about Spamfest, trying to keep that sentry alive. Whether it's going to deny, no, it goes down, and Layla gets gunned down as well. And Sprayer goes down to Proki. Proki, a lifeline, just to get that advantage again. I think SDCK are going to cap it, Jake, but it's going to be a slim Uber ad for SDCK now.
Oh, it's just, yeah. Only 10 seconds left on the round, but they're finally going to slog it through and cap the first point in 4 minutes and 22 seconds. And that is not a good time if you're looking to push on Badwater, and first point is supposed to be the easiest as well. But finally, the blue team has reunited in the card. They're pushing onto the second point. Looks like Feila Esports has decided to not protect the second point and set up already on third. Wise choice here. They don't really have a sentry going in the window just yet. JakeowatyCast jumped in, but he's gunned down by the sentry gun. Now the red team needs to kind of maintain their position and occupy this top lobby. And right now, SDCK trying to do the exact same, just block the enemy team from doing anything with that. Layla's slight advantage over Sprayer, but no Ubers coming out anytime soon. Now Kazarok is in that little deft there, looking into those windows. He'll be looking to take down somebody, but Proki there is the sniper to watch. Adiski going down, no demo man, which means this push here, CeeJaey, will be stalled for a little while longer.
Yeah, I mean, it's they do get V-Clocks, they do get Proki, and they've actually got the Uber Force. So there's a lot of weak players here on Feila. They have to be careful. There we go. Samburn and Kredu combined to take down Joe and Kunu. So I don't really know what happened there. Just so much pressure coming in from either side. And now Sprayer has this huge Uber advantage. They're at 100%. Feila, they're going to have to give up third. There's no chance of them holding this for any more time. And what was looking like a really, really strong first hold is now starting to look a little bit precarious. I mean, 5:49, the Uber comes in onto last. Layla is going to go down, chased by Samba. He got launched forward because of those sticks, I think. And this level 3 is trying to do the best it can. Does take down Samba. Sorry, Layla didn't die there. I got confused. It was Joe who died. Joe has Layla in his name. He's confusing, but Layla has now died as well. But Sprayer's died to middle. Middle with the whip kill onto Jackie Legs. They're going to have to try and stabilize here, Jake, but it's really hard. Their spawns are for another few seconds.
Yeah, this is very dangerous here for Feila. They're holding first so well, and then the car, once the car starts rolling, it just doesn't stop rolling. Now, included middle just going on the car, takes two. Clark has a rocket, now a disc, all going down thanks to the soldier. Layla's in a lot of trouble, she's going to get gunned down, and it's all down to 4 players, 5 now. From the red team to stop this car from being moved, and Z-Man is on the car duty right now. Jackie Legs reunited with him. Yahoo Poker really needs to get on the car duty order to stop it. There's nobody from the red team to get it stopped from the blue team. 6 minutes 43 seconds, just redemption time coming out of this SDCK, CeeJaey. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, 4:22 you said was the first point. So they did second, third, and last in 2:21. Which is very, very fast paced. You're expecting to get the majority of your time on third and even clutch a few more minutes out of last. Like we've seen the past few days on this map. We've seen this map in the semi-finals of both Division 1 and Prem. And teams have been getting decent times on last. And that was so close to being a full last hold. It should have been a full last hold. Sorry, first hold. Beg your pardon. But yeah, I mean, it's just questionable. On the third point, they made the right decision. They went from second to third, built up everything on third. They had their setup, they had everything done, and somehow they managed to lose 2 or 3 players. They get forced. They don't realize how bad of an Uber it is, and then they lose another 2 players because Sandburn and Creddy were really far forward. So, I mean, this isn't impossible. This is still obviously just the first phase, but Feila probably going to be feeling a little bit aggrieved with that, and the pressure's definitely on them.
Yeah, the regret is going to be filling them right now, but they need to kind of redeem themselves, and right now they're on the offense and will be trying to get something done here. Card is being currently occupied by ×3 as Spampus Kunu. Now jumping, going in by Join UFC. He's really far forward, including middle goes in as well, but they're going to get cleaned up. All house pretty much cleaned up by the red team here. SDCK doing pretty well, but the card is still being pushed in up until that very exact spot underneath this tunnel where the sentry is roughly. Basically, it's going to be dead time. They'll be looking for some opportunities to take down the medic, and Spare's going to be in a lot of heat right now in order to stay alive, but he's an experienced medic. And another bomb comes in by Journey FC, included middle. They're going to just get gunned down. Sprayer's taking some damage, but it's just not enough to get him down as well, CeeJaey.
They haven't got any kills. I say that now. Zaman dies to Kunu, but that's the first kind of frag they've got so far in this game. They're just really well organized. Kazarok playing really close to his medic. I mean, they got the teleporter down. That means respawns are slower, but they do actually have to get kills in order for there to be respawns. We see the flying Demo Man again, but Spray's not taking a lick of damage. And again, it comes to nothing. There's still plenty of time for them to get stuff done, but at the moment, they're not actually getting any kills, and maybe they should be going for pressure elsewhere. Maybe not just go for the medic, but go for something else.
Yeah, and you have to really notice that Jackalix running the conch as well, so he's getting some additional heals out of that, and that engagement was with the use of conch, which means the team will stay alive a little bit longer due to the damage they're doing. But right now, Fela's getting a little bit frisky. They're coming out with Layla in tow on the side of this hill. They're not opting to go through cliff. They want to go just tough it out. Losing the heavy there, Mezzo Proki also going down, including middle, is looking for the kill of the Sprayer, but he manages to get the force, and that is very crucial. Layla is all the way back in spawn. She wants to be safe for the next push, but that was a critical pop out of Sprayer that including middle managed to get. And right now, it's all in the hands of Feila on how they decide to push this.
Yeah, they look like they're going to come up on this far side. Kazarok is alive though, so have to be careful. And Jackie is going to go for the bomb, gets one rocket before Layla decides to use. So this Uber has to come in now, but it's not getting much time. Joe is so weak that he has to have the majority of that Uber, but great bomb from middle. Manages to create both Clark and Kazarok. And this is actually where they can get some momentum here. Sprayer has to get out. He's got credit for company. Maybe they want to fight this, actually. They're starting to get some frags. Joe and Poker both dying. They actually are fighting this, Jake.
Yeah, it might be coming a little bit of a problem for Feila to actually start pushing this. They're bleeding time, and that time that SDCK managed to get after the first one was incredible, and it's really hard to match. Right now, the card's slowly rolling back. There's no defense from the red team aside from Credo, who's just kind of bleeding the clock as much as he can. Finally gonna get gunned down by the L'étranger of Mezzo. And finally, after 2 minutes, Feila Esports managed to stabilize themselves and pushing themselves towards the first point.
Yeah, they've got the first point, but you look at the round timer, that's not what we're really worried about right now. It's more the actual game timer. It's, what, 3:33. That's how long they've got to push from first to last. Now, of course, SDCK did it in a minute less than that, but that's no mean feat. And you take a look at SDCK, they actually want to hold second here. They've got this passive hold that teams have started doing. It is equal Ubers, but no, they're not risking it, Jake. They're going all the way back to third. I think that's a smart decision. Oh no,
yeah.
Layla! Oh no, that was Joe! Oh. Joe's trolling me with this name, man! He's trolling me with his name!
It's still, Castle are getting 2 kills, finally gonna get shut down by Mezzo. I mean, we said before, and we said multiple times throughout the season that Kazark is the man to watch, and he's just showing what a man with a sniper rifle and a plan can do. Opening up a lot of room for the attackers right now to push this card as far as they can. They have 100%, but so does Sprayer. The sentry hold is up in the window, which means it's as standard as you can get at this point. There's a lot of bodies on the red side here on the third point, kind of spread out as to avoid some damage, and only 2.5 minutes left on the clock for Feila Esports to actually push this card all the way in.
It's kind of daunting, but they're Ubering straight in here. They're going in deep. They're getting plenty of damage onto the sentry, but it is wrangled, so it's not really much they can do. Layla actually is running away, and Joe's taking the high ground. Managed to take down Sandburn, and Zaman's gone down. The sentry's gone down. They're getting some space, and they're getting some kills, but they're starting to lose the post-Uber fight as Joe has gone down. Kazarok got a couple of nice snipes there, and that push doesn't come successfully, but Layla has survived. Layla has survived. They've got 2 minutes. They could go in. They're wanting to go in dry here.
Yeah, this is race against the clock. Neither medic really has the Uber. The sentry's only level 1, so this is the time as any to go in. Kuno, V-Cloaks both going down. Amazing job by Jackie Legs and Z-Man. Now Layla only has her Demo Man to help her, but she doesn't anymore. And finally, Z-Man gets cleaned up by Included Middle, leaving Layla at little less than 1/3 HP. Now, this is just a race against the clock this time. 1.5 minutes to go. This is getting harder and harder by the second. Level 2 sentry already in the window, with this key's just spamming and setting up sticky traps, and I really do not think, CeeJaey, that Feila will be able to push this in, but they're trying nevertheless.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it out there and say that I don't actually know how long it takes to go from third to last. I don't know the exact time. I know it's 40 odd seconds on upward, and I'm going to assume it's the same on this as the Uber comes in. It's going to be used onto V-Clocks, but Sandburn gets the majority of that Uber from SDCK as he drops down from the high ground and just scares them away. They do not want to be close, and it does look like with less than a minute to go, Feila are going to really just have to strong arm this through, just dry push it. They're trying, but they're just feeding the cart. Yahoo and Sandburn are just stood there and gunning down anyone who gets close. I think that might be it. I mean, Feila are still trying, but 40 seconds, they still need to break this third hold and get all the way to last. I don't think it's doable.
Yahoo with the Flammenwerfer is just standing on the car and burning like 5 people in a row, just all being kind of chip damage at the dying players. But right now Feila is just kind of looking for the logs at this point. With 25 seconds on the clock, I don't think they really are able to push this all the way in with that level 3 sentry on in this spot in the window. Clark is just maintaining it 24/7. A good job by the engineering. Never really praise the engineers for doing as well as Clark and Spamfest do, but they're just truly the top of ETF2L League, as I do say so myself. 5 seconds to go. Uber's coming out just to pad those logs out, but this first round CeeJaey will go to the way of SDCK. Surprisingly enough, after this first round, I mean the first point, taking 4.5 minutes for SDCK to push in, I really did not think that SDCK would be able to take this one.
It's, yeah, I mean, there's so many things, like, there's so many factors leading into this map alone, like, to talk about. I mean, we did have a pre-game, but we didn't kind of even go into all of the nuances of this map. For those of you waiting for logs, we will do logs at the end of the map. We're not going to do them round by round. We will do a combined kind of log show, a super log, if you will. But this map, Badwater, it is a staple of Highlander, like you've said, Jake. But this map was actually the map played in week 5. This was the map that was played between these two teams as part of the regular season, and SDCK did win it. It was a close game, but SDCK did win both the rounds to take it, a clean at 2-0. So that's got to be playing on their minds. Feila didn't ban this; they banned Gully Wash. So we're coming into this map, and obviously SDCK are highly favoured to win this map. But yeah, the start of that kind of that round, Feila looks so strong. Like, I was thinking, it was almost looking at the start of the season where Feila were just this powerhouse and nobody seemed to stop them, and SDCK really did struggle. They had a tough start to the season, and they actually replaced their scout, their demo, and their sniper over the course of the season, and that's where there's been this upturn of events, and they came kind of crashing back, winning UGC. But after that first point, Jake, they just kind of collapsed. I mean, do you think that's a mental thing? Do you think that the past month, take the past month into account, the fact that they lost this map to SDCK in week 5, and the fact that they've lost 2 on the bounce in UGC, so they lost their title, to SDCK in UGC. Do you think that's mentally playing on their minds at the moment, or do you think it was purely tactical where it went wrong?
I think that mental fortitude plays a really huge role, especially when you're playing in finals. The stronger you are of will, the better you'll fare in general, not just TM Fortress 2. But as it's the case with Feila, holding the first point so well, they kind of felt, I think, confident, maybe even overconfident, and it's so easy. We held them for like 4.5 minutes on the first point. It shouldn't be that hard to hold the others, and they sort of went lack on the third. They didn't really put up their defenses fast enough. They didn't take the ground that they had. They could have taken much more aggressively, and it just kind of let the other team here, SDCK, just take it. And after SDCK saw that hole in that defense, that the third point can just be taken immediately without even having to fight for the window sentry spot. They just took it, and they kept rolling and rolling in, always just crashing into the enemy team. And Feila just kind of starting to be confused and didn't know what to do. They started bleeding players, throwing players at the card just to stop it without any reason whatsoever, instead of regrouping and maybe holding last, because the last is very difficult to push in, even with those long respawn times. And in the end, it just seemed that SDK just went full barbaric on Feila, just kept pushing and attacking and dealing out damage and taking kills, whereas Feila was just kind of defenseless. After they dismantled that first and third point, I think that was just all she wrote at this point.
Yeah, I mean, bleeding is what's the word? It's a very apt usage of the term, because people say bleeding in Highlander or in comp when you're constantly losing one player and then another player and another player. But it's almost like they did bleed out on that third point. They lost, I think it was their soldier, they lost their sniper, and then they used an Uber. Okay, it's not the best Uber in the world. You just need to regroup. You know how hard that third point is to push, even if you have an Uber advantage. But then they kind of just, like you said, maybe there was overconfidence there. Maybe they just, pushed forward and felt, hey, let's go forward and chase like they did on the first point, which worked, but didn't quite work on the third point. I mean, do you think Feila have it in them here on this map to come back?
I think they definitely do. That first round was definitely kind of like a wake-up call for them, and it was just this call of DCK, to sit down, be humble, this is just the first of the set. Nothing's lost yet. It's kind of like a bucket of cold water for Feila Esports after this almost flawless season coming in these finals. Now we're losing the first round of the set to SDCK. I think they're just going to be looking for blood at this point, and they're going to be using everything at their disposal to, just get the revenge and, hope to get all the other points in succession to just quickly crush SDCK.
Yeah, I mean, It's like I keep saying, it's a mental thing. For those of you wondering why we're not actually watching the game and we're just having a casual chat, you know, me and Jake need a break. We're very hardworking individuals. We have to go make a cup of tea. Also, apparently Clark is timing out, so he is having to, I suppose, restart his router or just keep joining the server. So we're just waiting for some technical issues to be sorted, and then we'll be live. And of course, this is a best of 3 map-wise, but this map alone is also a best of 3. In UGC, you do play best of 1, but we'll be playing best of 3 on this map. So there is a chance for Feila to come back on this. And so often we do see in these big games where teams will take the opponent's map pick and then really put the pressure on them in the second map. However, you know, SDCK starting off strong here, taking the first round, and you know, like we keep saying, Jake, it is very much a mental thing. How many times have we seen teams, you know, win games from being a map down, you know, a round down, coming down from the brink? When I look back, my most famous one, I can't remember who I was casting with. May have been you, Jake. May have been you. But there was a Sweden-Russia game in the Nations Cup, and Sweden were the holders. They were the favourites. They were the big dogs. You know, they had Ali, they had Viljak, they had, you know, Zebasai, all these great players. And they lost the first map to Russia, and then they had to go and play on Russia's map choice, which was steel. And as we all know, Russians, they love steel. It was always considered their home map. And then they were a round down to Russia on steel. And it was like, okay, like, you know, let's end the cast now. Let's go home, you know. Let's go down to the pub before last orders. But no, Sweden came back from a round down on the second map to win that map 2-1 and then go and win the next map. So even when you're right at the edge, you can come back. And, you know, take a look at last season. Teams came back from losing the first map, to come back here. So lots to play for. Do you think, you know, as we're still just waiting for people to sort stuff out, Jake, do you think we're going to see steel today? Do you think it's on the horizon?
You know, I have allocated a lot of time for today, so I will say yes. I mean, steel is by far my favorite Highlander map, and not just because I live in Poland, but also because it's just such a fun map to play. There's a lot of strategies you can employ, and overall is the most complex map out of them all. And there's not quite a map like Steel in basically Highlander pool that is as complex and as interesting to watch as it is to play. This is a very difficult map. Many teams don't like it because it's just not straightforward. It's just not one track that you follow all the way through. There's a lot of points and a lot of little differences and details you need to take care of and take into account in order to play it. So honestly, it's one of the most interesting maps to play, and it's every single game on Steel is a different one to watch, and that's why I love this map. But you know, going back to Earth, Clark is still having a little bit of a technical issue with his internet, which we hope he solves. This is the finals after all. And playing, finals without an engineer is like playing football without your right leg. It's going to be very difficult. And, I mean, you can do it, but you're not going to have a good time. And, of course, CeeJaey, just using this a little bit of time of preparation, a little monologue, chat, or dialogue, but mostly monologue by either of us. I'm just gonna say that if you're liking what you're seeing here, guys, you need to check us out on KritzKast.com, where you can find a lot of goodies that you can purchase for yourself and help us out as a way of thanks for producing this content. But now, with the time going down, 60 seconds to go, CeeJaey, second round of Badwater, how is it gonna look?
It is going to look with Feila attacking first this time. So when we go to the second round, we do swap sides, essentially. So Feila will be attacking and setting the time this time. They'll be trying to get all the way to last with SDCK defending. And of course, if SDCK beats that time on this round, they'll be taking the first map 2-0. And then we'll be moving on to the second map. But Feila, of course, do not want that. Both teams had trouble on first, didn't they? Really kind of getting access to the medic almost. Just we didn't see any clean kind of forces.
No. It's just been kind of the situation where both teams just clump up so much around their medic that it's very difficult for the splash damage to reach the target in full force. I mean, usually it takes 2 sticks, 2 rockets, 2 pills to take down the medic, or, you know, 1 of each. But with the amount of bodies in the way and, you know, the stoppage power, you know, if a heavy is standing like 5-6 feet in front of his medic, medic's not gonna get the full blast. So it'll take 3 or 4 rockets to destroy the medic, and medic has a dispenser level 3 right next to him, and a heavy who's willing to share his meal. So honestly, there's no danger at all. But if the gates are down now, and coming in full force behind enemy lines is JOEYOTECH, but Kredu is there just waiting for him. This scout, how did they expect this to happen?
He's doing the Kado, Jake. He's doing the Kado. Kados used to do this in the early days of Highlander. He used to just jump all the way back over to that area and then jump in again with the Caber, back when the Caber was an insta-kill on the medic. So he was doing Kado, and Joe's known for doing this. He's known for pulling this off sometimes. So Kredu really smartly must have been told, and he's just waiting for him.
Incredible, as someone would say, but there comes another bomb. JOEYOTECH just jumping in with the regular, including middle as well, but they're gonna get cleaned up, and the medic is down! Actually, Proki takes the headshot, using that little bit of a distraction by his jumpers. Uber down, medic down, no heals, no invulnerability, and now Layla has 100% to go out and destroy this spot on top of the cliff.
Oh, some talk going in the chat right now. Kredu getting a bit, you know. Oh, Layla actually takes, I think she took a pipe there. She actually runs back into small, and that's smart. Don't want to risk taking another bit of splash and dying, but yeah, we are seeing people getting a bit tense now, I guess, as we do see a Disky's gone down, and Clark's gone down to a body shot as well from Brokey, so no sentry being able to be wrangled there. Sandburn's very weak. Not the greatest Uber in the world, Jake, but it can go either way right now.
Yeah, right now, well, there's no sentry, really no any buildings on the spot except for that teleporter. Now Sprayer has a little bit of a trouble there, staying alive. He's gonna get spammed out eventually. But the blue team here, Feila Esports, are not really pushing too hard. Layla just got a sandwich as she was low on health. They're healing up. They're moving from this big side of this hill. There's Jakeowaty's trying to put some spam with the black box, putting some on the heavy. Heavy's gonna go down, including middles as well. That teleporter is still up and running. Kunu finally finding the kill on that, and there's a Disky and Credit on the card, just protecting with their last possible spot. Jakeowaty's getting Layla though.
These soldiers, middle jumped in there. I mean, Sprayer was so weak. Joe was hitting him with spam over the rocks, and then middle jumped in and managed to kill both Sprayer and Sandburn. So that was huge. And then Jackie's like, you know what? You're going to do that. I'm going to go kill your medic as well. And the Disky's probably going to die quite late here. There you go. He dies quite late. So it's still pretty equal here. Sprayer is going to have a bit of an advantage because Layla's not healing, but Jackie, big play there, stops an ad running onto second. That could have been really crucial for Feila.
JOEYOTECH taking the headshot from the sniper. Oh, and then as goes a counteract kill by Proki on the Yahoo. No, Pyra means they will be able to do a lot of damage here. Demo actually going down for the defenders as well. Sandberg going down. Spirit doesn't really have anybody to heal except for a Kazarok. And there's Mezzo as well, jumping and taking down the sniper. I mean, this could not have been a better situation for the attackers here, CeeJaey.
Yeah, it's really, really good for them right now. They are actually only about 10%. I was going to say in the first round, Layla's building really fast, and she's actually been outbuilding Sprayer a couple of opportunities here. She still is about 10% behind, but that was 20%, you know, a minute ago. And V-Clocks is using the jetpack, actually jumps in top left, gets a ton of damage down, then middle's going in for the distraction, and they are going to lose a couple of players, and it is equal Ubers here, but they've got the momentum, Jake. They can just keep rolling. They are going to use.
And they are. I mean, there's no sentry, so just kind of like an equal exchange there. Layla's getting kind of pushed around by the Pyro. Yahoo's doing some job, but he's not going to finish this one off. JOEYOTECH getting killed by his counterpart. Now, included middle is the blast action takedown. This sentry gun built by Clark just a second. And the Super, despite looking slightly in favor of Feila, is just now just being completely wasted. Now look how many red are on the card at this point. SDCK just holding this card very aggressively. They don't really have to worry about too much with that level 3 sentry in the window.
Yeah, once that level 3 is in position, Kazarok is going to be really comfortable, and he's taken down Proki. Kunu goes down to the sentry. You see Spamfest trying to get some time on the car. Kazarok's actually gone down, and Midwood takes down the sentry. Okay, this is really well coordinated spam coming in from Feila here. There's no Ubers in place, and Yahoo's going to try and defend it, but Disky's gone down. There's a lot of people dying, and Feila are just dry pushing this chick. They're just walking in, they might get the cap.
Yeah, Mezzo's on the card, the Spy Glass. Now Sandburn is really upset about this situation. The Sprayer only have health. They really need to hold this. Layla has 100%, but she doesn't really have anybody to push with. Clark only level 1 sentry, which is not going to cover this card at all. And Sandburn is just using his Russian might to stop everybody that's attacking this card. Now Kuno's getting Ubered in by Layla, trying to finish off the medic before he gets his Uber, but Sprayer gets a counter pop. Now they're just sitting on the card, making sure it doesn't roll in, allowing Clark a little bit of time to build his sentry up, but he gets killed here by Proki with a nice headshot. Only level 1 sentry, and it's damaged as well, which means it will go down very soon. CeeJaey, and well, if there's any time for Feila to push, this is the time.
This is the time now. No sniper, no sentry. Well, I mean, no NG. That level 1 is going to die just by looking at it. But they need to start getting aggression. Sunburn is key here. And he's going to take down Poker, and Creddy with the aggression takes down Layla. They're just walking forward with this conch. Jackie legs with that conch enables his team to get their HP back, gets them zooming around the map, and they just clean up everybody there. Sunburn was about 10 HP, Jake. If he'd gone down, it could have been different.
Excuse me, what the heck was that? Feila just had they had the upper hand. They had everything played out for them. They had the right hand, and then just somehow SDCK just, you know what? I mean, what we have is a conch. Let's just use it. And they do, and they clean up house, allowing Clark to finally build up level 3 sentry, and again, using the bleeding turn, they're just bleeding the clock for Feila Esports. They already bled it enough on the first point, and now they're bleeding on the second. Neither medic, actually Sprayer has 100% Uber. Layla only at 65 HP. She's really far forward and aggressive in the window. I mean, one shot from Kazark will spell defeat, but Sprayer pops really early. They're expecting the Uber to come out, and it didn't, which means the Uber is completely wasted right now. Layla with 90% Uber charge and getting spam, and there's a sniper there looking. I mean, she just has to dodge and weave, and she gets Uber off.
They've taken down Sunburn. I mean, this isn't the greatest Uber, but they've taken down Sunburn. So that high ground is free and available. Vclox is trying to get it behind, but Mezzo with the backstab takes down Sprayer. So there isn't going to be any heals for the defensive side. They have to get something done here, but they're just getting frags. They're killing people. Jackie takes down middle, and we see Feila trying to stay in here. They have taken down Clark, so that sentry is free to spam. But again, Jackie Legs with the conch here, just getting so much time. Pressuring onto it. Can he get Layla? He does! He's allowed to get the kill onto the medic. I think SDCK might have to give this up here. They're going to do a bit of a passive hold, but they're just buying so much more time, Jake.
And Sandburn a disc. Oh, the disc, you have a triple kill there, and it gets a fourth as well. What is that demo man doing? He's redeeming himself right now, just putting out pain on that card. Now Proki is the only one who's pushing. Will be able to sneak this with it. No, it's so close to being capped finally. I mean, Feila is just so close to getting this one in, and right now SDCK cannot really leave this card, and Adiski's just doing that. Vehicles jumping in, trying to get it pushed in, push people off the card. That was kind of like a last effort from the Pyro, and now Feila's just frustrated. They're angry. They want this card pushed in on the third point, but SDCK is just not letting this one go.
No, they want to hold this, and they know how important this third hold is. Once you've captured third, your forward spawns for the attacking team, they activate. So then instead of relying on a teleporter, Feila will actually be spawning very, very close to third. It makes it so much easier to push in. But SDCK know, as long as they keep denying this, they deny those spawns, they can keep holding this high ground, which is such an advantageous position. As the Uber comes in very early onto Joe, Sprayer has to flash a few more players just to keep them alive. But this is looking good for SDCK. They've taken down a few players, and again, Joe is the furthest one forward and doesn't really have much place to go.
He got Yahoo though, which is kind of a consolation prize. No Pyro on the battlefield, which means Vclox will be able to do something more. He's low on health though, he needs those health. Credo is actually finishing this one with Sandburn. Sandburn just long side laser beams coming out of the heavy. And now once again, SDK kind of in control of this position. Clark once again trying to set up the sentry gun in the top room. There is a teleporter up there as well, just to make sure that the reinforcement are coming in nice and strong and easy and fast. Now Disky once again very far forward, taking a little bit of flack for that, but he's just kind of being a nuisance at this point and just doing a job of frustrating Feila even more. Layla is only on 20%. Sprayer is on 90%, almost 80 at the moment. And once again, SDCK, complete control of the situation, level 2 sentry, Clark using the evacuation wrench.
Eureka effect, yeah.
Yes, it's gonna speed things up even more. I mean, this is a fantastic strategy. Finally, as I say it, the sentry is being spammed out.
Yeah, this is actually a decent exchange. I was going to say exchange. Layla did die in all of that. It was looking good for Feila. They picked up a lot of frags, and this is the problem that keeps happening. They're getting good kills, but they're not really in a position to follow up on it. You know, they've taken the sentry down, but they don't kill out the important players. They are going to get the cap finally, as SDCK just kind of worn down, but 938. Credit when Adiski going down there, so maybe if they were to roll this into last, this may be looking good, but you used the word there, Jake, frustration. That definitely is what is going through Feila right now. Just the frustration of being so close and then not being able to push. And, you know, they know this isn't a great time already, but they still have to push all the way to last. Yeah,
it was close, but no cigar after all, but they're pushing it quite far forward. There's not many defenses coming out of the red team right now, as SDCK just kind of setting themselves up. There's Kazarok, who is, well, looking for kills. He's on an 8k streak at the moment, I believe, or was a second ago. He died, and he was doing pretty well for himself. Now Proki's in a really good spot in the shadow. He's sniping Kazarok, but Kazarok somehow finds Layla among this motley crew of blue players, meaning there's no medic for the foreseeable future, allowing SDCK to build up yet another defense, and it was looking promising for Feila already.
A split-second timing, you know, a split second earlier, and Proki would have taken down Kazarok, and they would have been fine. But Kazarok gets that snipe off onto the medic just beforehand. And again, we're in a situation where Layla is so far behind. She's on 30%, Spray 100%. They're going to need to do a sack wave here, Jake. They need to send players in to try and get a force, because it's going to be very difficult to push her disad.
Yeah, definitely that, and Joe in UFC kind of knows that. He just spams out the sentry. Clark is very aggressive with his sentry spot, taking a lot of damage for his trouble. Spamfest on top of that bridge there is just putting out some shotgun spam. Ooh, but there's some scuffle going in the staircase right now. Included Middle is coming out on top of that, taking down 2 players in their staircase. Yahoo and Credit both down for the red team, which means Feila can push in. There's a counter pop on the cart right now on the Disky, trying to clean up house, but Layla is safe and sound, and that 100% Uber charge is definitely going to help them in pushing this last point eventually.
Oh, Middle, so close. Not maybe necessary there, but he's going to be on a fast respawn wave. So close to getting the kill onto Sprayer just as that Uber faded. And that's really well played. Meze went in for the sap. He gets the sentry just disabled for a few seconds so that Joe can come in, spam it down, and then the suicides come in and they get the force. It was really well played. And now that means Layla has 100% Uber. They're going through ties. Layla's extremely weak. Kazarok and Sunburn down already as this Uber comes in, Jake. This could be a good push if they start to clean up.
Yeah, they really have to. Layla going down there to Jackie Legs. Nice kill there on the medic. But there's only blue players on the ground right now. Adiski and Kredu are the only players alive. Adiski is kind of in a bit of a trouble there, but he jumps in, takes a nice pipe to lily pads with Spamfest's face. But they're pushing in. Respawns are coming in. 12 seconds for the most team. Half of them respawning right now. They just need to rush this card. But there is a poker holding this one for his team. And with the sacrifice of the heavy weapons guy, they push this in. 12 minutes and 28 seconds for Feila Esports to push against SDCK. CeeJaey, will SDCK beat this time?
I mean, I feel like, you ever go to the pantomime as a kid? I don't know if that's like a UK thing, where you go to the pantomime and you see like, I don't know, like the Nutcracker or like Aladdin or something, you know, just like a little kid's show. And then there's always a bad guy and he's like, he's behind you, you know. Like that kind of stuff. I feel like that right now because I'm just constantly repeating like these stock phrases and everyone's going to be like, it's a bad time, you know. Like if you get into the double figures, like I always say this, if you hit the double figures when you're pushing, if you go over sort of 959, it's not a good time. You're not going to be happy. And you know, you may be telling yourselves, hey, we can hold this, and they could hard hold first, Jake. They almost did it on that first round, but 12-28, they're going to be frustrated. They're going to be not very happy. SDCK are definitely going to be the ones with that higher level of morale. They're definitely going to be pleased. This is again coming down to the mental strength of Feila. They have to keep their heads in the game and know that they can do it. But definitely SDCK are big advantage here. Big advantage.
I think SDCK is just gonna try for strong arming this game here. They have all the time in the world to push this card all the way to last. And right now, Yahoo is going behind. Dickmann's also getting into position. Yahoo, the Pyro, is just completely missing his mark with included middle jumping behind his back, cleaning the Pyro up. Now Jackie likes Kaz or Alexander kind of moving into positions as well. It's a slow burn, but it's a fast one now. And this is going in, and Jackie likes as well. And they're taking down Layla!
My heart breaks inside. as a medic, man, you feel me, Jake. Just there's nothing she could have done there. I mean, you can pop, but 2 stickies and a direct rocket. That was a crisp rocket from Jackie, right where she was. And you just take a look at Feila. They're out. They're done. They have packed their bags and they are out. Middle is going in with a conch bomb, trying to get Kazarok. Doesn't get anything, but they may have to back out all the way to third here. Look where SDCK are now. They're chasing on second already.
What a play by SDCK. I mean, they're just going in, like I said, brute force, just completely barbaric display coming out of SDCK, coming into third already. Sprayer on 100%, only 4 people up, 3 people up for the blue-red team, but Layla going down again to the spy action behind enemy lines, and she's dropping yet another Uber. Was that a drop again?
No, she was. She only just respawned. I think she was about 40%. Sprayer still has that 100% from when he was in spawn. Hasn't used Uber yet. They are all over third. They are blocking second. Sprayer is actually the furthest person forward. They're in such a good position right now. They are actually blocking the cart though. So SDCK are on third, and Feila are blocking second. So I mean, they're buying time here.
What is going on right now? I would never expect this to happen in the final. Maybe one of the first games, but this is insanity. Look where they're spawning right now. They're going through the shutter door that has not been blocked, and now SDK finally realized. Hold on! But Layla going down to Kazarok yet again.
Mezzo! Sorry, Mezzo just comes in and gets Kazarok and Sprayer. Sprayer eliminated. That is a drop. That is huge. I mean, SDK could have maybe pushed this all the way to last. Sprayer's still with that Uber, but now he's down. This is just chaos. This is people just dying everywhere. SDCK have captured second, Jake, but I have no idea what's going to happen on third.
I am so confused right now. I mean, this situation should not have happened. It only happens in pubs, maybe some fun games, but this is the final, and they just kind of skipped the second point. They forgot completely about it, and with that one gap that was left, it's just Feila comes in and blocks the card and leads the clock, and now they're allowed to set up on third. There's just mess going down here. Jacklex and Disky both going down. Spare, it has to kind of stay alive, stay safe. Layla has also been taken down to 100 HP. She's really aggressive there with Kuno, chasing down Kredu, and they're chasing down Sprayer now. Kuno's on Sprayer. He's just 2 meat shots and he's dead. No medic for the attackers now through the middle, joining the party as well and cleaning up house of the blue team. SDCK just getting a little bit overzealous there, pushing in, and it looked like they have it in the bag, but indeed they don't. The bag has been ripped apart open yet again. And look at this, level 3 sentry already by Spamfest in the window, and it's just a complete reset of the third standard hold.
Yeah, I mean, it was chaos. It was chaos, and I was gonna say the chaos is gonna benefit SDCK because every pick they get, every trade they get is gonna benefit them with the respawn time. But in the end, Feila are the ones who managed to just clean them up. And now they have a huge Uber advantage. Well, Layla has 100%, Sprayer is only at 60, and they need to make waves here. Poker, so weak, 6 HP, down to 3 HP. It's going to be a sandwich, but takes down Jackalex, denies that high bomb. But this is the thing. This is what separates sort of the wheat from the chaff, so to speak, breaking this third hold. And we're going to see if SDCK are going to be able to do it, as they are just kind of throwing bodies on the cart, Jake, but they don't really get close to Layla or Proki.
Yeah, the Spamfest is just kind of cleaning house with that sentry gun. Really easy to do. Spare on 90%, Layla on 100. So you might be looking at an exchange fairly soon here. Included middle is getting really frisky up in there. They managed to find Jackalex with a stray bullet from Poker, but they're missing that soldier. They kind of slow down their flank a little bit more. Kazark is just card scoping in, looking for somebody's head to be shown. Sentry gun though goes down with the use of lock and load. Uber's coming out. That's the ticket. Pushing out Layla into the corner by Yahoo. He's just trying to just lock her down, but she has that Uber on a long burn as well. Sprayer now is a little bit of a trouble there in the open, but the card's being pushed in. Nobody's blocking it, but nobody's finishing the push either. Kredu is jumping on the card. Medic goes down as well. That's Layla. And Sprayer live on 60 HP. They push this card to third point with 7.5 minutes to go. CeeJaey.
Poker did so well there, did as much as he could. Proki actually takes on a Disky there. He's still up in the roof, like he's still up on the high ground. He's waiting. Can he get to someone else? Oh, just misses. He's going to go for the hero shot. Little bit of yeah, I mean, a little bit kind of overzealous perhaps from some of the Feila players. You know, maybe thinking they could have got more there. but they just weren't well positioned after Sandburn dies to the stickies as he tries to get a bit aggressive. Maybe Feila can stabilize here, but they are at a disadvantage, Jake, and that third hold, they needed to get their medic out there, and Layla died in all of the chaos. They nearly wiped again.
Now the point is to stay alive on last point. This is the most important part of holding last because the respawn times are crucial here. Above 20 seconds of respawn on in a fast-paced game that Team Fortress 2 is, it is just gonna spell death for them if they lose all their players. So if you have to bleed players one by one to kind of get some kills back, you do that. But if you can avoid them completely, that's even better. Right now, Sprayer on 100%, Layla on 80%. Sprayer's using it immediately. They're losing Yahoo in that initial charge, but Sprayer's just charging in front of the Sentry Gun. Sentry Gun's gonna get focused down by Sandburn and JakeowatyLex. They're just cleaning up beneath that little alcove. Jakeowaty's gonna get cleaned up, but there's only 2 people up for the red team, and I really do not think, CeeJaey, this is just anything that Feila can do at this point.
I mean, you know, I'll give an unusual to someone in the chat. If Feila managed to stop this, it's just poker. He's doing his darndest, but it's not going to happen. 9 players up for SDCK, and they managed to push the car in. GG's being called in chat. That is the first map going to Super Dickmann's. They are going to take a 1-0 lead in this grand final, and you got to say it's been deserved. They just seem so much better in the pushing. I mean, there was moments in that last push, Jake. In that last push, like you said, the stickies were on the railings again, just underneath. So Yahoo jumps over. He gets blasted away. He dies. And it's only really a heavy U-burn. You can't chase with heavy. You should be focusing on other players. But everybody else in SDCK is coming forward and taking fights, getting frags. And because of that, they win it. Not because of the Uber. The Uber wasn't great. It was a solo heavy Uber essentially, but because everybody else was coordinated and came in, they managed to do it. And, you know, just for a reminder, for any of you joining us, this is the grand final of Season 17, ETF2L Premiership Highlander division, and it's between Feila Esports, or JOEYOTECH Feila, they have changed their name, and Super Dickmann's KANNONEN. You could argue for hours, couldn't you, Jacob, over who's the favourite? Feila are the top seeds. They have won UGC Platinum in the past. They have a very successful 7v7 team who are invite double champions. However, SDCK have won Prem before. They did win the last meeting in ETF12 between these two teams, and they have most recently beaten Feila twice in UGC, including in the grand final there. But the map picks, it comes down to map picks, Jake, and we're going to be moving on to Feila map picks now. So this is where they can get into it. But should we take a look at the logs? I'm sure we've had our logs combined into a mega log by now.
Yep, and it's very clear that at the top of the list is none other than SDCK players, just kind of occupying the first 6 or 5 spots, with only JOEYOTECH being the third on a spot, and basically Kazarok cleaning up house, 10 kills on the enemy sniper, 5 on the pyro, and then 3 on the medic. Very crucial picks as well, with 38 kills in total. JakeowatyLex being the second, the flank, the soldier for SDCK, claiming himself 35, and that's JOEYOTECH for Feila, the only red player in the top 5, let's say, with 34, and then Sandburn with 33 and 32 respectively. So basically a very, very high killing game. And a lot of picks, especially by Kazarok, who's I said in the beginning, and I will keep saying it until I draw my last breath, that Kazarok is just having the season of his life at this point, at least up until this moment. He's just kind of came into this league, came in the Premiership. It's kind of like you really didn't know what to expect of him, and he's just doing an amazing job on the sniper rifle. And this game just shows with those long sniper sidelines, CeeJaey, is so difficult to just escape his gaze and, well, escape his bullets as well. That hit scan is hitting hard, and it's hitting in the right places.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to put things into perspective, Kazarok was, he has played in a Prem final before, back in Season 15. He played for Feila. He was their main sniper for Season 15. They got to the grand final. They lost to the team Elephant. So I think he kind of took a season off. He went to play sort of some games in high and stuff like that. This season, his first team was Tourette's French Club. After the first couple of weeks, went a bit wrong for him. Games weren't being won. Maybe got disillusioned with everything. Joined Feila, actually, his opponents tonight, as a backup. And then within a few days or so, got picked up by SDCK as a main sniper to replace Burn, who they felt really wasn't sort of up to par, or wasn't performing as well as he could have been. So he is really doing insanely well. I mean, 37 minutes, 38 kills. That's over a kill a minute, which is pretty good. Pretty good for a sniper, which leads well into the next map. 42 headshots. You could talk all day about the players who are getting good frags and good damage, and it's the usual suspects, Jake. But who do you feel needs to step it up from Feila? Who do you think was maybe not the cause of the loss, but who do you think could really get into the next gear for the next map?
It's a hard question because I feel like Team Fortress 2 being a team-based game and having that word team in the name itself, it's kind of like a joint venture by all players. I mean, if one player is not playing up to par, you kind of have to either tell him or kind of fill in for him. But for Feila Esports, it's kind of really hard for me to point out the right cause. I think what was the cause of their failure in the first round was definitely kind of the lack of cohesion, and maybe just maybe a little bit too much kind of, how to say, I'm losing my words, but just say confidence. I think they were overconfident in the beginning, and they just got crushed, let's say, for 3 points, and that confidence just immediately, as if with a snap of a finger, just went away. But now we're moving on to Coal Plant. CeeJaey, this is the map that Feila has picked. This is the map they feel comfortable at. This is the map they picked for finals. They've played on this map before. They play on KOTH very well. They have the DM, they have the right mindset, they have the composition and the cohesion needed to play on a KOTH map. So, playing SDCK, who've been kind of favorites for the payload maps, now moving on to the KOTH map, where Feila are favorites, I really do think that Feila will take this one and will go all the way to the third.
It's an interesting map pick. I mean, Coal Plant is such a... Again, I said this at the start, didn't I, about Badwater? But yeah, I mean, there's just so much to talk about this map. Coal Plant, I would say, traditionally has been a very strong map for Feila. They have won this map before in grand finals. I think it was season 14. They won it in the grand final. It was their map choice then. They were very strong on it then. Slightly different roster back then, but the principle of Joe being the main caller is the same. They have played well on it this season. However, kind of the sister map, which is Asheville, which is very similar. It's basically the same structure with some slight changes. That was played in the upper bracket final of UGC Premium this season between these two teams, and it was extremely close. Extremely close. If I remember, Feila took it 3-2. However, this was a very, very close 3-2. This was kind of, it could have gone either way. So I don't know whether that would have maybe put some doubt into, Feila's mind about whether this is the good map to choose against this team, because I totally agree that the DM aspect is very strong with Feila. Their coordination, and they have these players, and V-Clocks with that jetpack is a menace on this map. But you just need to look at the other side, and you've got Credu, you've got Adiski, you've got Jackie Legs. These are all really, really good sixes gamers. They have insane DM potential. Sandburn and Yahoo, nowhere to stand on this map and do stuff, and Kazarok's just top fragged. And this map has great sidelines, so it is still like not a coin flip, but it is very much kind of, they've picked map, but it's definitely not really going to be easy for them. And we're live now, Jake. SDCK in the blue, Feila in the red. Tell me what happens on this mid fight, because I cannot predict this.
Run UFC getting a little bit of a mess up there on this jump. Adiski getting a little bit faster onto the mid, now sticking it up, making sure nobody's crossing this mid point. And looks like Feila is just opting to go directly beneath the point. With just blue occupying the top, they do have the height advantage, as one great film taught us. It is crucial, but right now they're holding the position. Now Feila rotating out of this sewer spot, going to the left side of the point, now trying to just win the spam fight. There's a lot of sticks lying around, laid down by Adiski there. And well, Sandberg's just going in behind, taking out 2 kills there. Middle Kudu, the flank is gone for the red team. Now Yahoo's jumping in, taking down Mezzo, and looks like Lei's just deciding to just, you know what? I mean, we're kind of winning this. Are we winning this? I guess we'll take this point. And now with 100% overcharge on her side, Spear only on 95. He's a little bit slower on the draw there, waiting for his team to finally appear on the point. They'll have to kind of push this one in, CeeJaey.
Yeah, I mean, Nice headshot there by Proki, takes on a Disky. I was going to say, talking about the great DM players on SDCK, they also do have a Prem 6's scout on their team, and actually the Uber's going to be used. They're going to get really aggressive in this corner, but Kredu is extremely weak. Yahoo is going to get taken down by the Stickies, and that's just a really big advantage for Feila. And Joe's jumping the sniper. We know how much he hates snipers, but he gets taken out on the retreat, and it's going to be middle this time, trying to go for a Disky, and he's going to get taken down. Maybe a bit too aggressive there, Jake.
And now we're seeing this awkward battle between two engineers and those shutter doors. But really bad here. Wow, Spamfest going down on Layla as well. That's unfortunate for the red team. I mean, they had lower spawns or longer spawns, but now the point getting capped by the blue team SDCK. Now in control, the spawn's going to be much shorter. Kazarok with a 5k on his count right now on Kunu. Nice headshot. And then Joe and UFC jumping for the medic, getting cleaned up by Clark. Kredu also claiming middle. And, well, it looks kind of promising for SDCK yet again. They do have the Uber advantage, they have people in the right positions, and now all they have to kind of hope for is not to die too early to avoid those long respawn times.
I don't really understand that play there, just to go back. I mean, I'm not sure why Joe and a middle launched in there. They had the better Uber. They managed to take down the Pyro. They should have just retreated back to their sniper and just played around that, but they are getting decent camp time now. They're trying to bait this Uber out of the sprayer, and it is going to get baited. He gets juggled. He's not going to be able to really chase there. But they are going to get some frags here. Brokey takes down Kazarok, so that spree of his is over. But Kredu's on a 5-kill streak, Jake. He's just running around. Make that 6 as he takes down the jetpack Pyro. He's going to get killed because of it. But Feila going to retake this point, and this is very back and forth.
This indeed is back and forth, and I just kind of like what both engineers decide on. You know what? We're just gonna plant this sentry in those shutter doors and kind of try to maintain it, an open door whenever we feel like we need to shoot the gun. So that kind of works out for both ways. Right now, Spamfest is in the advantageous position that he does have a level 3, whereas his counterpart Clark does not. And right now, Kazarok's taking up Rocky. That means no sniper for the enemy team. A lot of sightlines being freed up for the Blues. And Sprayer only in 75, Uber right now, Layla is only on 10, which means Sprayer will have slight advantage here. Mezzo trying to just kind of throw a wrench to their plans, but he gets found out by Kredu, and there's just an aggressive push by V-Clocks, and Kunu trying to clean up the house as well. The whole area of the garage is getting cleaned up, but Sprayer has managed to get away with his life, and now with that 50% Uber advantage, he'll just decide, probably, most likely, to push on this point.
I like that play from Feila. You take a look at this Uber isn't going to be a great Uber. I'm calling it now. I'm psychic. Do you know why? Because the majority of the SDCK team was in the respawn queue, and the Disky gets taken down by the traps on the retreat. There is a level 3 in the doorway, and that's going to deny people camping the point. They didn't wait for the respawns. Mezzo is going to take down Sprayer, and this is looking really, really good for Feila right now. They just needed to wait 5 or 10 seconds there, Jake, and then they would have had a much better Uber.
Yeah, and they kind of didn't expect that sentry gun to be in the shutter door. I mean, it was kind of quiet for a while.
That's the meta now. Every NG is they just sit on their backside and build a sentry, but Layla goes down, so everything doesn't matter anymore. Let's watch the Wrangler battle between Spamfest and Clark.
This is just cute at this point, but with Layla down means that SDCK will be able to kind of relatively easy push into this point. Now Sprayer's getting kind of pressured there by the flank, as included middle just jumping in on the medic, but Sprayer is fine. And then Dandy, now Sprayer's running away. Included middle goes in, but what a reflect by Yahoo onto included middle. No more soldier, no sir. And which means no flank attacking Sprayer anytime soon. Finally, the point belongs to the blue team with only 5 seconds on the clock for the Reds. Sprayer 100% right now. Layla only on 50. I do believe that Feila Sports should wait this one out. Just kind of get their Uber out and then push in with it. There's a level 3 sentry on the other side.
They're running quick fix. They're running quick fix. I mean, Sprayer got a saw, so he's at 100%. Layla's at 80% quick fix. They're getting some picks, so this may work out, but it's a bit of a weird one. I don't know why they're running quick fix, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, the sentry finally going down to the blue team, and the Reds are pushing in. Layla Esports are using the quick fix to their advantage, but the problem with quick fix is that it doesn't make you invulnerable. It just makes you heal very quick, and now Sprayer is in a lot of trouble as the Uber fades, with Sander both going down to a nice flank by Poker and Vikos cleaning up house. There's not much else from Blues to kind of stop this Feila from attacking, except for the fact that Layla is not really healing anyone, and well, this whole attack, which looked very hopeful for Feila Esports, kind of just stopped dead in their tracks. There's a sticky trap on the point right now. JOEYOTECH spamming this shutter door. It's just kind of messy at this point, CeeJaey.
They do get the backstab onto a Disky. They've got the frag there, but everyone else is so weak for Feila that this wrangled sentry isn't being dealt with. Joe takes down Sprayer. Clark's finally gone down, but there's only 20 seconds left on the clock. Like, you get the med pick, but it doesn't really matter because you need to get on the point now. Like, 3 up for SDCK. There's a lot of cap time. This should be a round for Feila if they coordinate here. Sandburn and Adisky are going to have to do a lot here to get stuff done. Proki takes down Kazarok, and they're going to walk forward. This could be it as they walk forward, and they're going to get the frags here. But Clark is doing so much work with that Wrangler in the doorway. 2 seconds. Yahoo's going to be on the point. He'll get taken down.
No way.
I just... They got lucky there. They got lucky there, Jake. I mean, they got so much cap time that it took a while to decay, but...
It's insane. It's insane, CeeJaey, because I honestly did not know who's gonna take this point up until the very, very end with 0 seconds on both clocks. It's just incredible, but somehow the red team here, Feila Esports, managed to get themselves the first point, and then Kazarok opening kill of the second rounder onto Porky, meaning there's a lot of sidelines to be explored by the blue team right now, and with Sprayer being out in the open, kind of safe. They're pushing in on the enemy team. JOEYOTECH is just putting some spam damage onto the point. Viklus also just kind of showing he's there, but blue team is completely in control at this point right now. SDCK have the right positions there and the high ground as well, but they're slowly backing away.
They're giving them a lot of space, and Viklus is in with the jetpack. He's on this gets it. Oh, whoever. Oh, and the nice pipe from Joe there. I like that. Big bomb in from Jackie. He doesn't need a jetpack, but he doesn't get the kill. And I told you, that man is a menace with the jetpack. I'm looking at Yahoo now. He's on the chase. Joe is going to pipe. He's going to protect his better half. Can he protect her from Zeman as well? He's going to get the force.
No. I don't believe you saw what happened there, CeeJaey, but the spy, Z-Man, stole the sandwich and forced the Uber himself, and then Layla goes down to Kazarok!
It's just... It's all the way back and forth here. SDCK by rights should be able to cap the point, but then Spamfest has a level 2 in the doorway. This map, you don't know what's going to happen, and Layla is about to spawn now. That sentry is going to shoot people on the point, and it's stopping SDCK from getting anything done. Jackie can't jump forward. Kazarok is starting to get on a bit of a spree here, takes down Proki again. Kunu's flying around, manages to take down Kazarok, and Feila is still blocking this, Jake. I mean, they've chalked off like nearly a minute.
Yeah, that's very crucial minute as well. Now Sprayer has 100% Uber charge. Layla is down. Jackie-Lex in the backline finding the medic kill somehow, somewhere in the garage. The medic goes down, which means it adds yet another minute almost for Sprayer to kind of stay safe and just bleed this clock dry at this point. With SDCK in complete control of this point, looking very promising. But remember, Sprayer's out in the open right against that shed area, which means he's very susceptible to any sort of jump in, but they're just popping on Uber. They can't afford themselves to do that just now. Flashing heavily and generously going for Layla pick is Jackie-Lex. He's going all the way back. Will be able to find another rocket, and he does not. Layla survives by a sliver of health. She's fine. She's protected, but the onslaught does not end there, CeeJaey.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing really well. They're getting the forces. They just need to be careful that they don't keep using Layla here. And they're going to come in here. Disky Credu, they're just putting some time forward, but Feila, they're just going to capture the point. They're just going to say, hey, we're going to capture a point. We have Uber. Come at us. See what you can do. And now it's SDCK's time to kind of see if they can get a force.
And now Sprayer, 44%. He's not healing anybody at this point. Nobody's going to reunite it with him. And there's Mezzo behind. Will he get a stab on the medic? Yeah, he's so close. Oh, just outside of his reach. Medic gets away from the spy, but Mezzo is still looking for some blood. He'll be able to get down the sentry gun away from Clark, and now Middle just jumping in very deep in the back line. Will be able to find Kazarok with help of Kunu. So right now in control is Feila Esports, going on to this basically this garage area, even knocking on the door itself. And Sprayer kind of spread out with his team. They're trying to recollect what has happened in the past minute, regroup themselves, and maybe hope for another push. They do have the advantage, and now they're on the point. There is a sentry level 3 in the shutter right now, and well, Spamfest is not willing to let this one go easily.
This is really smart play. Oh my days, and middle gets the force as well. And look at Yahoo! He's hitting the skybox, lands again, and he's going to get some frags. Layla needs to survive here. If she survives, this has been a really good exchange for them. They actually still have the point, Jake. SDCK can't cap, and Spray has gone down to middle. Middle's on a 7-kill streak. Kredu takes down Layla, but I don't think they're going to mind too much, because as long as that sentry is alive, they're blocking the point.
This is incredible. This is a great play by Spamfest. Keeping the sentry alive as long as it is crucial play. Now, finally, SDCK managed to cap themselves the point with only 34 seconds to go for Feila to finish this round off. And it's going to be a difficult slog of a play because, well, neither medic really has the Uber Charge Sprayer once again in the open. He's very susceptible to any sort of jump. Kudu now notified his team that there is a medic in the wait, including Middle just jumping in, but he's getting blasted away by a scout of the enemy team. And, well, it's just some spam being exchanged. Neither team really willing to take the bite just yet. Red team gets faster respawns in this situation as they are not in control of the point. Layla is just slowly getting her Uber up. As is going to be just a little bit faster. As long as he doesn't die, he may just pop immediately after he gets it and maybe get a wipe on the enemy team.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about getting these forces, and we've seen Jackie at middle do great things so far. I'm not really sure what Feila are doing right now. They've got, like, they've just given up a lot of time as middle goes going from bottom. They're going to take on the sentry, and they just want to cap this. And they're baiting onto the point, and this is really good play. They've taken down Clark, they've taken down Sandburn. Vclox has died for it. Joe's on the chase, gets some nice damage down. He's hunting a sniper again. He is going to die, and Yahoo is surely going to get taken down. But Feila so close to getting the point. Kredu 1v1 against Kunu, but Kunu's got a little bit of heals and a sentry to support him, and they are going to capture the point. They are ahead in time, Jake, and I really like that play.
Mezzo, and then I do believe we get a pause just in the nick of time before...
Look at that rocket. Can you see the rocket?
Oh.
Look at Jackie Legs' rocket. Is that going to be an air shot on Kunu? I don't know.
Is Kunu going up or down? That's
the big question, yeah. Because if he air shots him, then Vclox is going to get slammed down into the ground as well.
But look at Mezzo. Look where Mezzo is. Look where Sprayer is right now.
Oh, I'm trying to look. Oh, yes. Okay. I mean, I think he may even just opt to go straight for the sniper. He'd probably think, you know what, keep your medic. I want to take down your sniper. I want to take down Kazarok.
Would be a smart choice, because if the medic sees that there's somebody just walking straight at him, he's just gonna whip out the bone saw and start sawing. But Meza going for the sniper, you know, Sprayer might think, you know, I mean, there's nothing to be worried about. I mean, that's fine. He might even get an assist on the kill as well if he heals Mezzo, which may obviously happen. It does happen sometimes, but we get an unpause, and Mezzo just gets that. He gets the Kazarok kill backstab. But with Sprayer still alive in the back line, I mean, you get a sniper, good enough. Could have gotten the medic, but that was a safe choice, and that was the right choice as well by Mezzo. Now just the carnage is continuing. CeeJaey with point getting occupied by the blue team. SDCK are just knocking on heaven's door.
Oh, Vclox flies in. Sprayer's gone down as well. Proki with a couple of body shots takes down the demo and the medic. I think SDCK are going to capture the point here. But the spawn time is now going to be extended for their medic, so he's not going to be out for a while, and that's going to allow... This is what happened in the previous round. Even though SDCK had the point, they were able to recapture it based on the fact that they had the fast respawn. We'll have to see what happens here as they're trying, but now it's Clark with a level 1 in the main area, just kind of spamming the people off the point. It's going to be really close. Ziman's trying to maybe go for a stab. He's going to get rumbled. Adiski trying to get aggressive, but Proki takes down Kazarok. The frags are going in the favor of Feila. Middle jumps in, and then Mezzo gets the sap on the sentry. This is all looking good for Joe and company. Opposite Poker gets the kill onto Sprayer. This is going to be a cap.
No way. Once again, we only see zeros up top. There's not a single other number than a 0 yet again, second time in a row, with Feila just scoring this one out. It all goes down to the third round. Will SDCK be able to seize this one, or will Feila be able to kind of redeem themselves and push this all the way to the third pick, which is their pick as well, CP Steel? I mean, we couldn't have hoped, CeeJaey, for a better game than this one.
No, and Proki takes down both snipers, taking down the opposing scouts. But middle, huge bomb, takes down Sprayer, takes down a Disky. Great opening for him. Mezzo's going to get a backstab onto Sandburn as well. There's only 4 up for each side, but Layla is alive and she's got Poker for company. Her big Russian friend, he's going to protect her with his life, and Joe's going to be the one capping. And this is looking really good, but Layla... Oh, Creddy's on the lurk. Creddy's creeping around, Jake. He's gonna run in.
Oh, he's going in, but he gets face checked by Poker and completely mowed down. I mean, this heavy is just not really taking any prisoners now, included middle, jumping onto Sprayer. Sprayer nicely surfs away into his own shutter door, but Layla has the advantage. They have the point as well, Feila, JOEYOTECH Feila, but they're getting Layla somehow. Jakeowaty's jumping behind enemy lines, and before Layla manages to get 100%, gets a rocket into her face.
Proki's done the same. He takes down Sprayer. Both meds dying within about 5 seconds, Jake.
Oh man, and their Wiethoofd is just looking for blood. He's taking down a Disky, but paying with his life as well. The point is not yet finished for SDCK. Feila is still in control of this one, which means they're gonna have longer spawns and they will have trouble regrouping without Layla just now joining actually her team. And JOEYOTECH kind of leading the charge, putting some spam on this open area, open cold space area. It just might be the thing that they're looking for. Proki actually taking down the soldier for SDCK. Now Wiethoofd trying to jump in, gets completely dunked on by the scout. The scout goes in and takes down Layla as well. Proki goes down. That's a quadra kill for Kredu.
With the pistol. With the pistol.
6 kills for the scout in about 10 seconds time, CeeJaey.
Is this quad pistol reanimated? Is he back?
What the hell?
Just picking his team up, putting him on his shoulders.
That's insane. That's what they were looking for. That's what they needed right now. They needed this insane situation, somebody to carry the weight of a team, and that might be what SDCK is looking for, that breath of fresh air, those new winds in their sails to carry this one out. And right now with Sprayer 100% supercharge on this side, Disky getting blown to old smithereens, but no, he's flashing the last second, and he's just hitting the skybox now, chasing down Wiethoofd. Wiethoofd is gonna get away with himself here, including Middle's chasing down the Disky. He's gonna go down himself. And there's a lot of red bodies on the point right now, and not a lot of blues to stop it from happening as SDCK is slowly backing away. Sprayer is so low on health. He gets the health back and finally gets reunited with his team. But the battle is dying down slowly. The dusts are settling. And on the top of this one is Feila.
Yeah, at the moment I feel Feila have the better strategy. They're getting their spawns up and then they're committing for the point. So when SDCK do cap, they're not always playing with a full sort of complement of players, as both Zaman and Mezzo getting some backstabs. The Uber is used by Layla, and I'm not sure why. There wasn't really much going on the point, and I think SDCK might just cap this for free now.
And they do just that, but they're losing a lot of players in exchange. Sprayer is running away with that 80% Uber charge. Middle is looking for blood, but he only finds Clark. Might be good enough, but that might be the engineer actually manages to fan them off. And the point is now currently being blocked only by Sandburn. That heavy weapons guy all the way by himself in the open is not gonna be good for him as he goes down. Now Jackie Legs and Clark Kredu also trying to cause some mayhem among enemy lines. JOEYOTECH doesn't have any heals among him. Now Wiethoofd's going behind, but he gets found out in this shed area. With 1 minute to go for SDCK, finally they managed to stabilize themselves. They do have the advantage. And while waiting for the enemy team to, well, make the first mistake.
Yeah, I mean, it was, you see the Uber coming out now, and Layla goes down again. And so many kills for SDCK. That is a really clean, just really crisp cleanup coming out of SDCK. But Sprayer goes down! Kunu just runs in, manages to take down the medic, and that is going to mean Layla has an advantage despite the fact that she just died. Sprayer dying when his team controls the point means he's at a longer respawn. And this is what I'm talking about. I think if Feila play the odds here, then they could actually cap here and be in control, but they lose Kunu early on. Middle's going to jump in, and Wiethoofd jumps in as well. He's going to take down a Disky, get some decent damage down onto Yahoo as well, and players are dying.
Players are down left and right, and it's just this, again, this bleeding mechanic, that they're just bleeding players as you get onto the point, trying to stop it from being capped, bleeding the time for the enemy team as well, just bleeding all around as Sandberg's bleeding onto his own back as by Mezzo who's getting a nice stab onto the heavy weapons guy, just not paying attention, and now Z-Man is just equalizing with a kill on poker, so neither heavy is alive for the next encounter here. Sprayer on 50% here. Layla on 100, hiding behind that rock here. Jackleg's just going and looking for the engineer. Will be able to find Spamfest. He does. There's no sentry gun. Uber comes out the red team, chasing down the blues out. SDCK really need to do something about this. Sandburn is low in the health, but he survives. And with a scrap defense, they manage to survive. No, they know this. Mezzo gets a shiv onto Sprayer. And with that butter knife to the face, slashes him across the chest. Sprayer going down. Layla's still alive, and they're still in control of this point with 40 seconds to spare.
This is what I mean. If they played it right, they're back in a situation where they have ad and big jump in from Jackie. How did that rocket not do any damage? It like hit the railing, but Layla took no damage. Splash mechanics in this game, but it does enough to force them away. And SDCK have captured the point now. Sandburn's so aggressive, but he will get taken down, and this is the problem. SDCK win the point, Jake, but they lose so many players. They have taken down Layla, but they're just going to get recapped on.
They just need Sprayer to stay alive, heal the team, but look at this, the timer has gone down for the blue team, only 35 seconds to go. Now it's advantage for the blues here. They have the fast respawn times. All they have to do is cap this point. They have Sprayer alive, and there's only 2 players up for the red team. Even that repush was really well done by Feila. It didn't look promising for SDCK. All they have to do is just finish this one off, and there's not a single red on the point to stop it from happening, and the SDCK finally getting themselves a first point in this set. Staying alive on Koth Coal Plant, CeeJaey, as we're going to the 4th round of this map.
That was a misplay by Feila. If they just waited for their cap, not cap the point immediately, just waited 1 second, then they would have had 3 more respawns, including their medic. But the fact that they capped and put Layla on a 5-second longer respawn, it was just, it was terminal for them. There's no way they could come back from that. And they are deciding to go underneath the point again, just going for the low ground, and they are going to lose a couple of players. Their assassin classes are down. Kuri's going to run in, get some damage onto Sprayer, but not enough to make him worried at all. And not really looking good for this mid-fight. SDCK looking pretty strong. They've taken down 4 players, made that 5 without reply.
Yeah, it was a little bit too much of an investment into taking out Sprayer, who's only down to half HP. They tried to get the medic. They knew that if Sprayer goes down, it's kind of easy pickings for the rest of the team, but it seems that SDK finally managed to find a strategy against that, you know, trickle in, get the medic down, and then just kind of clean up house strategy coming in the Feila. Now Feila on the back foot, the first cap on this point gets the way of SDCK. A nice spam coming from the side, but the Uber comes out very early looking for the medic pick, trying to surprise the enemy, but now Layla is on the back foot, running in with her team, trying to stay alive and maybe hope for a dry push sometime soon.
Feila are good at dry pushing. They are very good at dry pushing and getting the point off of the back of it. So we'll see what they're doing, and it looks like they do want to contest the point a little bit. Sprayer is quite comfortable, really far back here, and Kazarok's managed to get Proki, but Middle's going to jump in, and those rockets do no damage to the medic. And actually, Feila are the ones who are losing more player. Kazarok gets Layla, and that was just catastrophic for them.
It was catastrophic. Look how many players are up for the red team. They didn't even finish the cap, which means they're not getting any timer from this one, but they do get faster respawns. They may yet be able to stabilize this and maybe get Sprayer. He doesn't have his 100% yet. He's kind of holding on that coal heap, and included Mill goes in, but just gets completely denied by Yahoo. Just close range, just reflect into the face of the soldier, protecting his medic. Sprayer on 85, he knows he has to be safe now. He cannot lose this Uber anytime soon if they want to hold this point. There's some cap time going on by the red team. There's sentry gun getting down by Spamfest. Now they're popping in, chasing down V-Clocks, but Layla is already far away. She's half health. Kredu manages to find her, and he cleans her up with a shotgun there. No more medic for Feila. JOEYOTECH.
It would have been, I was going to say, the amount of times I've said this would have been a good exchange. It would have been a good exchange if they won that. Now, it would have been a good exchange if Layla hadn't died there, but Kredu is just going so deep with these chases. He is just going all the way until he gets that medic frag or dies himself. So Feila in the situation now where they do have a disad. Layla is only about 15% and Spray is at 50. So a big advantage, but they do manage to get the cap again. And Spamfest Sentry has just been focused so hard, but Kazrock isn't being focused. He's on a 5 kill streak, takes down Proki. And I just feel they're a little bit fractured, Jake. A little bit fractured. They're not playing as together as they were in the first couple of rounds, and maybe knives are getting to them. I don't know.
When you're gonna use a football kind of analogy here, I do believe that we've come way past the second half of a football match where players are kind of getting tired, they don't want to run anymore, they want to be shooting any more goals, they're kind of playing to preserve their strength for the upcoming overtime, and I think that's what Feila is doing. They're kind of trying to preserve the strength. They're just jumping, going for the medic, but they're getting completely cleaned up, only claiming Clark as their reconciliation prize. Sprayer's still 100% and he's on full health as well, so that jump was completely just missed there. Layla's not really healing anybody, so she's 100% behind Sprayer, and with 38 seconds to go, CeeJaey, there's not a lot of time for Feila to do something about this round.
There's a lot of pressure on them. Kazrock 6 kill streak. No one's putting any pressure on him whatsoever, so he's just allowed to pick people off at will. Feila trying to just bait out this Uber here. They do have a charge. He's going to be used onto a disc. He gets launched back. That sentry is in the doorway, but it's not going to do much against it. Look at the Disky going in deep. That's Layla with the stickies. He's going to die for it, but he doesn't care. He gets the medic again, and Layla is just being chased so deep. We talk about the Joe zone, Jake. I talk about the Joe zone, how deep Joe goes in, but SDCK, they're going in. We're talking about the Credu zone or the Disky zone. They're going to lose the fight, but they got 2 minutes to mount a comeback here and just recapture. They could tie this map up 2-2.
This is incredible. This is incredible. Feila looking so strong the first 2 rounds, and now SDCK seem to be in complete control. Prayer with an advantage here, and with Feila basically having no more second chances for this round at least. They have to do something about the situation. They're going in dry once again. Layla already on half HP. She's taking some spam from the enemy team. Kazarok getting taken down by Proki, opening up a lot of free room for the Reds to come out, and that's very important right now for Feila to open up as much space as they can to maybe take down Sprayer, maybe get an opening. They're still hesitant on going under this point, CeeJaey. They're still hesitant on even taking an attempt to take down the medic, but Jacka is already going behind. There's a level 3 sentry, and they just get blown up there. V-Clock's going down. The sentry is still alive, somehow getting spammed out. Uber comes out of Sprayer very early. Layla is still alive, though she's still holding quite aggressively. She's hoping to get the Uber charge before she gets taken down, but she's taking a lot of flack for it, and she's gonna go down by Sandbird. So this ramshackled sort of last hope defense has come to close. Right now, both teams lacking players with faster respawns for SDCK. I mean, this is just kind of like maybe 50 meters away from spawn to get the point done. There's not many players who can stop this from getting capped.
I mean, one thing that is that sentry in main. It is going to finally go down to Sandburn, so that defensive sort of application is out. Sandburn goes down, Jackie Legs goes down as well. Feila look like they're actually mounting a strong defense here. They've managed to take down 3 players, and they've only got 20 seconds to get onto the point and cap it. They have about 50% cap time, but Yahoo's also gone down as well. Poker and V-Clocks are just defending Layla with their lives. And we do see the crits is being used on Sprayer. So if this crits is at 95%, they need to get this done, and they need to wipe the team in order to get something done. It's going to come out.
Oh, they're just mowing people down. They're trying to get as many players as they can. And the point is equalized by SDCK with a clever use of crit streak. They equalize themselves in this round, basically putting Feila in their last position imaginable. They didn't really hope this round would turn the way it did, but it's a little bit too late for now, and they really need to get their head in game yet again to stop SDCK from rolling through as they are, because they're looking incredibly strong and already being 1 map up. This is basically match point.
It is. If SDCK win this round, they are going to be crowned your champions. But Mezzo has something to say about that. Next up, Sprayer and Sandburn really open things up for his team. But Layla goes down, and guess who it is? It's that man Credu again. He just goes in deep. He doesn't stop, and he's going to take things into his own hands. Jake, I would say if this was any other scout right now, I don't think SDCK would have managed to bring this back, because he's getting so many med picks. He's really turning things on its head here.
Yeah, and Layla really does not have a good time here on this map. She's just getting completely focused, and it's not even her fault or her team fault for not protecting her. It's just the way this map is constructed, and the way basically Layla has to hold her team. It's just too open for a medic to survive, and right now the aggression coming out of SDCK is enough to just keep her down in the spawn, which means she's almost the last in terms of points. But here, Kuno and Proki both going down to amazing quickscopes by Kazarak, who's still on the prowl. He's getting really frisky up in there, really aggressive, and he's still looking to scope and snipe in some heads.
Yeah, look at this sentry again. It's going to get sapped by Zeman. Spamfest has to take the sapper off, but it's not done in time. And JakeowatyGets Layla. Was that a drop?
I think it was very, very close, CeeJaey, but it was not a drop. But what that means is there's no medic for Feila, and there's a 100% medic for SDCK.
I mean, just when you look at Feila and you think, oh, actually, they're switching things up here, and they were actually doing really well. They lose their medic, and they're in a situation where they're going to be struggling again because they have to bait out this Uber and then make sure they keep Layla alive. But she's quite far forward here. Kredu's on the chase. Adiski's throwing stickies. He manages to take her down just before she gets through that doorway. And once again, we're in a situation where actually Poker is the one getting the most frags. I'm pretty sure he's got about 6 or 7 frags this round alone. Makes that another one, and Proki, he's starting to turn up on a 3-kill streak, takes down Sprayer. Huge ad now, potentially for Layla, and Feila are going to capture the point, 20 seconds behind, but this is the round for all of it, Jake. If they don't win this round, then SDCK are going to be champions for a 3rd time. Feila need the round to go to the 3rd map.
Yeah, Feila Esports here right now need to clench their butt cheeks as hard as they can, because SDCK are just not gonna let go of this one. They're capping the points slowly but steadily. Now JOEYOTECH getting really upset about this. He's putting some nice spam. Most of SDCK team is just kind of hanging around the shed area quite aggressively over this top. Here Kuno going to a nice body shot from Kazarak, which means no more of those scout shenanigans. Now Layla's getting spammed out on this coal heap on the right side. The points being slowly but steadily capped by SDCK, and they finally managed to clean this one off, but they lose Sandler and Adiski to Proki, who's now on a 7k streak with Sprayer on 75% and Layla on 100. They're just gonna reclaim this point lickety split.
Like, this is a combination of like good play by Feila and kind of bad play from SDCK. They're only sending a couple of people to try and capture that point because not everyone's committing, and because of that they cap the point, but they lose those players, and as soon as they lose them, they've got worse respawns and they move forward. Proki is on an 8-kill streak right now. He's taken out Clark's now on the minis, not deciding to run those level 3s anymore, and the Uber's going to be used. Joe's going to jump forward. He's going to get launched by Jackie into the skybox, and he's going to die to the follow-up rocket, and they're losing players now. I don't know why they Ubered there. They had a huge advantage. You just needed to sit and wait.
They really didn't have to do that. They got a little bit too happy about the recent engagement of taking those Sprayer by middle. Amazing play there on the side. It's just kind of like, you know what, we're invincible at this point, but looks like the Super was a little bit mismanaged, and now kind of equalizes the chance between both teams, and with SDK in control of the point, it's going to be a little bit harder for Feila to actually take back the control of it. But they're going in, only Mini Sentry running on the blue side with a full level 3 run by Spamfest is going to be quite easy for the red team to kind of hold this position once they take it. We're now just surfing away. They're losing Sunburn in this engagement, as Adiski going down to Kazarak as well, but they managed to save their medic. So the respawns are going to come soon, as the point is not theirs. Whereas there's 9 seconds to go for Feila to get the resupply locker ready to go into the battlefield.
Yeah, people are just dying left, right, and center right now. This is going to be an Uber used onto Poker. He's going to try and defend that point as much as he can. He is buying time. This is not going to go well for them. They know they're going to die here. They know it's going to be really, really bad. However, they are buying time, and they're making sure that that cap isn't going to be completed, and the time is still going off for Feila. 13 seconds. They're losing a lot of players, but Jake, every single person they kill at the same time as dying, every person they trade with, means that they have a faster respawn once that cap's gone down, and Spray goes down. He's dominating. Mezzo is dominating Spray, and he just shanks him.
And he just writes in chat, unlucky.
Kredu! he just replies. It's like every time his medic dies, Creddy's like, you know, I'm just going to do the same. I'm just going to kill Layla. And Feila have 11 seconds left on the clock, but more importantly, they've got bodies on the point trying to cap it, and it's looking pretty desperate for SDCK right now. They have, I'm losing my voice, Jake. They have 3 players alive. Feila are bleeding.
Oh, it's so close to being capped, but no, not capping yet. They have 50 seconds to burn, and as the Sandburn is trying to burn them down, Journey FC low on health, and so is Layla. Neither matter really has the Uber charge. Red team has faster respawns. They just finished the cap, 10 seconds to go, with Blues in the spot to take this. They're looking to take down Layla. Getting on the point are Blues right now. Ooh, there's no Ubers as of yet. There's just dry pushing all around. Layla going down, but I don't think this is gonna be enough, as only 3 people up for the blue team. There's just complete mayhem going on the point, and is the point ticking down. Blues throwing themselves on the point. Feila Esports clinches this one in 3-1 set on their own map, moving to the third of today's game, which is gonna be CP Steel. CeeJaey, this could not have been any closer than we would have hoped.
I just like, all right, so I'm gonna single out one player, and it's probably not someone you're gonna be expecting, because it's not someone we've talked about very much in this game, but it was Joe. Now, there was a moment there where he was trying to capture the point. Okay, he was trying to capture the point. He had 3 people on a 2-second respawn. If he had capped when he was initially standing on the point, those 3 people would have gone from a 2-second respawn to a 7-second respawn, at least. And then his team wouldn't have been able to hold the point in the ensuing fight. However, he backed off. Now, whether it's because he was being shot at, I don't know. But he backs off, and then he caps when his team was respawned. If he did that, knowing that was the reason, that is a huge play, because in the follow-up fight, everyone just committed, and SDCK lost so many players that they couldn't compete for the point. They couldn't do it anymore, and that's absolutely huge. I'm looking at the logs, and I don't know if Wiethoofd's put them on the screen yet. I don't know if anyone's having a look.
Yeah, but the logs are out. CeeJaey,
logs are out. Yeah.
Predu and Kazarok topping the charts with 54 kills for Kredu, the scout. And
in 34 minutes.
In 34 minutes, 8 of them being on the medic. And then Kazarok, hold me there, just look at this, 44 kills. Almost half of those kills were on Proki. Wow. The enemy sniper. Half of those kills were on the enemy sniper, meaning to just focus the hell out of the enemy sniper, making sure that the sidelines are clear for his team to push in. That is such a high-killing game. I mean, it went to all 5 rounds. But at the same time, having a scout on a Koth map, which is just basically blast classes and spam all around, getting 54 kills, that is incredible performance.
It really is. I mean, 8 of those kills were on the medic. He got the most med picks of anyone else in the server. The next highest was Mezzo with 5. It just seemed every single time that his medic had to use Uber or was killed, Creddy was on the chase going for Layla. If he had a flash of Uber, he was chasing Layla to the spawn. If his medic died, he was holding W until he found Layla and was having a go. And it works out so well. I mean, those two, 98 frags between them in just over half an hour. The next thing you have to kind of look at when you rank it by kills is the next 7 players are all Feila players. Poker with 39, Kunu with 38, Vclock's 38 as well, Proki and Joe and Middle all with 37, and Mezzo with 35, all getting basically over a kill a minute. This was such a chaotic game. It was hard to keep up who was killing who. Credu definitely the standout player for SDCK, but the coordinate, I have to say, it wasn't individuals for Feila. There were some great plays by individuals, absolutely. Some great bombs by Middle, some great backstabs by Mezzo, and Proki going off on a few kill streaks there, really showing that he's standing up to Kazarok right now. However, for me, it was the combination of all the plays. At certain times, you could see, people going in and they were just timing the bombs, they were timing the pushes to go in, that despite their medic dying 24 times to 18, I'm trying to do quick maths here, but that's like what? 30% more, 33% more, 25% more, I don't know, but it's more, it's 6 times more, and they win the game. They win the game because of that. And
they had to. I mean, they really didn't have other choice. They had to step up, and with Layla just being constantly pummeled by the enemy classes, just jumping her left and right, they just kind of had to look for other avenues of pushing on the point, gathering it, and the way they played around the clock. And basically, I definitely, I may be just kind of talking on my thumb, but I definitely saw on the side of Feila some of the smart plays with the clock. They kind of sometimes even allow the point to be capped just to get this fast respawn wave and reclaimed it literally in like 15 seconds. Just waiting on those respawns, getting the medic faster to front lines after losing a point. There's just so many smart plays that I can play around with the clock on the Koth map. It's incredible to see. But with Coal Plan behind us already, being clinched by Feila Esports, equalizing themselves on the total scoreboard 1-1. Now we're down to CP Steel, my favorite hands-down map. As this is no longer going to be a messy game, I don't think. It has to be a very cold and calculated, which may be a problem for both teams as the fatigue is slowly setting in. We're also kind of producing without a break for the past, I would say, 2 hours of us basically producing ourselves into microphones at our homes. So if you're really enjoying what we're doing here, please do check us out and help us out in any way you can. And if any way you want to, there's plenty of avenues of helping us out directly or indirectly. Even retweeting and basically showing your appreciation really does help us out. So please do make sure that you basically, give us some thanks. It's awesome. Awesome watching them, awesome game, and awesome being in this community. But with this happy note, CeeJaey, CP Steel, SDCK versus Feila, 1-1, what's gonna happen?
There's some background here. Again, background for this map, Jake. I'm giving you all the inside deets. Okay, I would say that of all the teams I've played against, over the years playing in Prem, these two teams are probably the two best teams at Steel. I would say the only other team that was better than these teams that I played against was the original sort of Tourette's Chess Club, back from the Season 8, Season 9 era, when they had the likes of Quintosh, Breakfast Jr., Sprayer was on that team. So maybe that's a kind of a factor. But I feel that SDCK have really, really had Steel as one of the maps in their pocket that they're not scared for people to choose. Whereas at the same time, I feel Feila are exactly the same. And it surprises me that Feila have gone for this map. It surprises me that they've chosen it because I think it's a risky pick against SDCK. I don't think either team would be scared to play the map, but it strikes me that, maybe there's a bit of confidence in the Feila squad. Maybe they're feeling we can do this. Maybe if we add a little bit of chaos, maybe we can get some pushes. This could go either way. But another interesting factoid, okay? Teams, when you play officials, you go for a warm-up, right? Everyone knows. We've all been there. In their warm-up, Feila didn't play Steel. They didn't practice Steel. They played Badwater and Coal Plan. And in SDCK's warm-up, I played against them in the warm-up. They did not play Steel either. So both of these teams have practiced Coal Plan and Badwater, Jake. They haven't practiced Steel. So two teams who I think are great at this map are going to go head-to-head, but they haven't practiced it before the game. Make of that as what you will. Yeah.
Man, this is... I always say that this map is kind of an underdog map. Because the team that is favorites in the set will just kind of let this one go. It's Steel. What we can do is just kind of push A, B, C, D, or we can just go A, E directly and see what happens. There's plenty of different avenues. Kind of every single top player has it ingrained in their brain what to do roughly when the situation is not looking good at a certain point. Now, why is it an underdog map is because, like I said, the top teams will just kind of not really practicing at all. There's no really reason to. They kind of can wing it. Lower teams, however, they have to take every advantage they can. If they can't win in DM, they can win in strategy and tactic. And this map is prime example of how strategy and well-executed strategy can win over even the best of teams in Europe. And it has happened in the past many, many times. Now, you saying that neither team really practiced Steel, and I don't think in the past month both teams have been really scrimming a lot. They kind of took the break as well. It was a long month behind us, but I think the previous games, or at least before these last few games that we had this week, were before Christmas. So that's a long time. And while you're not playing for a long time, at least not competitive, not practicing this map, some things may evaporate from your head. So it very well may be just a complete mess of people throwing themselves onto E-point, desperately trying to get the cap fast and, well, be done with this map. Or we'll just see a complete slog of 17 minutes for each side going through the full alphabet. And we're just hearing Wiethoofd crying in the background, trying to avoid the fate of both teams going full 17 minutes on all 3 rounds of this map that it can potentially go to. I mean, it's already past 11 in plus 1 GMT time zone. So, I mean, we're glad you're here, guys. We're really glad you're watching this with us, and we hope you're enjoying as much as we do.
I'm hungry. Please send food. I've been busy all day and I haven't managed. I thought, didn't think it would go on for this late, but yeah, I mean, 2 maps that are basically best of 3 in this best of 3. Badwater was a best of 3. Okay, we didn't see 3 rounds on it, but the 2 rounds we did see were fairly long. We had a bit of a technical issue at one point, so we were delayed there, and KoPlant going all the way 3-2, essentially a golden cap there. Sometimes we see fast times on this map. Sometimes we see very, very long times. I'm expecting to see some rapid times. I don't know what you think, but I'm expecting to see some very quick AE pushes, rotations, and I think we're going to see some very, 6-7 minute times.
Well, let's hope so for all of our sakes. I think we are both pretty tired from this. I think the players are as well. I mean, this takes an extreme mental fortitude to survive this long playing in this high level, and you have to remember that we didn't really play before these games. Both of those teams kind of scrimmed their heads out trying to be prepared for this game, so they're playing even longer than we're watching this game happen, unfold in front of our eyes. So the fatigue is such a crucial component here. Fatigue will cause even the best of players to start slowing down, falling behind their team. We saw Kredu just popping off last round, just getting completely mental on the back line, and we might not even see him do anything this round just because he put all his energy into winning that last round, which he did, and, well, it was to Feila's credit. And Kazarok as well. I mean, Kazarok being the hero of the first game, just kind of, I mean, he was top scoring in the second one as well, but will he be able to kind of keep his performance up for yet another map, and a map that is as complex and as varied as Steel?
Absolutely. Varied and complex, I think, are 2 words that describe this map perfectly, Jake. For those of you just joining us, welcome. You are currently witnessing the grand final of ETF2L Premiership. As I'm about to do a little bit of spiel here, I'm looking at Disky's KritzKast on the AE connector, which maybe expecting that rush. Might see a drop. Who knows? But yeah, this is the grand final of ETF2L Season 17 Premiership Grand Final. These 2 teams going head-to-head. Double champions in the past. SDCK came in through as 2nd seeds up against Feila Esports, who are now known as JOEYOTECH Feila. They've been in the past 3 grand finals. They are invite champions in 7v7. They have been UGC Platinum champions, but they have yet to win ETF2L. Could this be their time? They lost the first map, Badwater 2-0. But they won their map choice, KoPlant, 3-2 in a very close game. Check the VOD if you haven't watched it. But now they are playing their final and second choice, Steel. We're going to be seeing them in the blue, Jake, and I'm just calling him out. Are you going to see... Oh, someone just got a golden pan. Congrats. But do you think this crit trap is gonna kill anyone?
I really think that both teams are just a little bit too experienced. I mean, this crits flavor as trap is kind of a theme for this map, and all the teams kind of employ this, so if somebody gets caught in it unintentionally, Poker just finds this one out easily. But they do get double there. Poker and Kuna both going down to the street sticky. That's incredible. This kid actually going down, just completely mental there is going Feila trying to get this one down. But they're rotating away from me. They kind of saw that they're unwanted there, and they're rotating all the way to B, with Poker and Kunu both missing from the battlefield, as well as a Disky. There's no sticky traps laid down, and Clark's gun is fairly aggressive position. Could push right immediately in, and they do so.
Yeah, they're doing the quick rotate. Smart play, and the sentry and Clark has gone down. The Uber is used. But then the counter over comes in, which is going to be so much better. Look at it, Disky launching in, and Jackie with the direct rocket straight onto Layla. And they are losing a lot of players on the defense here, Jake. This is not looking good for SDCK, actually.
As he's using Conch to actually get away from the situation, Jakeowaty's the Black Boss is gonna get a lot of heals from the damage he's doing, but he's all by himself. I mean, Sprayer's just currently trying to stop this from happening. Jakeowaty's almost sacrificed himself. They get Poker though, and then JOEYOTECH gets stabbed, and then Kuno goes down, and Lilypad, Spamfest going down as well. There's just complete mess. They're reclaiming this point, just getting the respawns in the right time and pushing in full force. Look for how far this B point has been capped, but has not been finished yet. And with basically Feila being on the back foot, not having an Uber to push into this, and with 80% on Sprayer's side, this is looking very promising of a hold. And with another Conch coming out of Jakeowaty, he's getting them very fast, very quick. And now blue team is angry. They're looking for some more kills. They need to get them down, but Sprayer pops the Uber, CeeJaey.
Yeah, Layla doesn't have hers yet. She's only at 85%. She's going to get sandwiched there by Adiski and Yahoo, and then they're just going to clean house right now. But Adiski and Yahoo do die for it. But 5, 6 players left alive for SDCK. I think Kuni may actually get the cap here. Oh no, Kazarok! Kazarok gets the cheeky snipe through the window, and Creddy was actually going to take down Proki, and SDCK are holding on to this. Let's not forget, guys, this is 5 points to capture. You can capture the E point at any time, but the more points you have capped, the faster your respawns. And, you know, they're not at that point yet, and Layla died in all of that chaos, Jake. How did she die? Sort of leaving the spawn.
Yeah, they kind of leaving the spawn. There's a man there, there's a man with a plan, and we just stabbed her in the back, and right now, no Sprayer for the red side either. Getting equalized there, no medics on the battlefield, and Layla is reunited, but Kazarok taking down Lilypad, Spamfest with that sentry gun being put out as well. Amazing spot, amazing quickscope onto the engineer, and they're pushing in. Neither team has the Uber just yet. Jakeowaty's getting cleaned up by Joe and UFC, now included middle, taking down Adiski, that's 2 down, the sentry is still up, but it's going down eventually, and then Yahoo also getting body shot by Porky. Finally Layla managed to get themselves onto the second point here, the B point, capping it in 3 minutes and 37 seconds, just missing that one in front to make a full leap number, and they're moving on to the third with that 100%.
Yeah, they got Kunu actually on the E point now, just getting some cap time there, just trying to make sure that the attention is diverted. Layla goes down to Sandburn. That was a drop to the minigun actually. So, wow, Feila, his final is on a knife edge right now, Jake. I feel like at some points Feila look like they're absolutely winning this, and then at other times they're not, but Kunu dies, but he takes down Sprayer with him. He's saying, if I'm going to go down, you're going down with me. And that is so much better for Feila, because now that they've got both A and B points, their spawns are going to be faster, and the spawns for SDCK are longer. Every trade is going to look at that 23-second respawn on Yahoo and Sandburn.
But that is crucial, and that is cruel. At the same time, Feila just getting themselves slapped into that chokehold there. Proki and Joe and UFC both going down to Adiski and Kredu. Nice flank there coming out of the defenders. Layla is on to that choke point as well. Sprayer only 25%, Layla on 85%. They're pushing and they're holding, slapping themselves in that little hallway there, and they're trying to defend themselves away from the red team. They're going in, they're trying to get as much as done, but look at this, Spamfest just slapping that sentry as well, just helping them out. Uber comes out just in time to save Poker from certain death, but that means Sprayer will have the advantage. They only get 2 kills to Sandmer and Diski. Sprayer is still alive, but there's nobody protecting E point, CeeJaey. There's nobody there, so it's up for grabs. Kuno is now on the point, but there is a Kazarok there, and he's very annoying, as you probably very well know, as he just gets included middle with a nice headshot, protecting this point almost by his lonesome, and now being reunited with his team. E point is seemingly right now, at least, untouchable.
Kazarok was so close to dying there. He was being pressured by both Kunu and Joe, and neither of them followed up on the kill. They just kind of left him there and decided to rotate through C. If they'd taken him down, they may well be able to get pressure on E point, but because they didn't, he got 2 kills. So a bit of a misplay there, but they are going to capture C here, Jake. This isn't the fastest time we've seen, but finally getting a little bit of momentum here. And the Spamfest, you see that? The little mini sentry jump over onto E point.
That is clever. That is incredibly clever, but he's gonna go down eventually. Get mowed down by Sandberg and his team, and now they're planting themselves on the E point. They're kind of in a position where he can sort of safely stay there, build up the sentry defense, and maybe protect it from being capped, but those ladders are coming down to E point, making it accessible. Now include a middle jumping in, looking for the medic pick, doesn't get it, actually getting cleaned up himself. Hadiski, however, goes down himself as well, and Sprayer actually getting forced. So now they're chasing some kills. The late Uber coming out of Layla and jumping in. Poker just cleaned this one out. There's a complete mayhem going on for the blue team here. Feila is in control of this point and in control of the situation. They very well may be able to just block the spawn from ever being used by any red player ever. And it seems that SDCK will have to go through D if they really want to have a chance at protecting E.
They don't really have any spawn blockers yet, but Joe is trying. He's blocking off kind of the white room sort of A area. Hadiski takes down Layla and Kazarok with the arrows. He's got the Huntsman and takes down V-Clocks. This may well be a cap for Feila, but it's there's going to be some scars from it. They have 2 players left alive. Mezzo is getting some cap time, and actually this doesn't look as done and dusted.
Pit! Ladies and gentlemen, we got a pit, first pit kill of tonight, as the E-point is just claiming Mezzo. Now the blue team is just getting on the point. Layla with V-Close and Kuno, they're getting fast. Respawns are slapping themselves on the point. There's a lot of slapping this round around, including middles there, blocking the spawn. It's just mayhem left and right. Kazark, Yahoo, Z-Man, Lilypad, and Genu FC all going down. Only Credu alive for SDCK, but he's just not enough to stop Feila from capping E. 7 minutes and 46 seconds, CeeJaey. That is a good time for Steel, all things considered.
I mean, I did say at the start, I was expecting some fast times. 6-7 minutes. I would actually say this is on the slower side. I mean, I don't think Feila are going to be super happy with that. They could have chalked off at least 2 or 3 minutes out of this, and I think SDCK are going to be pretty comfortable that they can beat this. They're definitely going to go for an AE push, I'm sure. I'm sure of it.
100%.
They have that in their bag.
And look at this, Krits again coming out on this AE hallway there. I mean, at this point, this is such a fairly standard strategy, CeeJaey, that I really do not think anybody's expecting anything else. It's just always been, ever since, you know, the Ubers really just kind of charge up fast in the pre-round, in the beginning round. Just why not? I mean, why not put some extra crit sticks and get the benefit of it, especially if spawn's so close. But now, gates are down, CeeJaey. It's SDCK's time to take on Feila's defense, and as expected, nobody's on A to defend it, and everybody's just rushing in to get it capped.
Yeah, I mean, it's just A point just exists, doesn't it? It's just there. No one ever defends it.
It has to be there, you know. You're just kind of like a time waster at this point.
You need that, like that free real estate meme. You know, A point exists. Attacking team. It's free real estate. Sunburn dice, but nothing much of note happening as the teams are just kind of reorganizing themselves here. Yeah, just seeing some suicides, and actually Proki and VCOX go down. Those are big picks for SDCK. They might want to challenge B here.
And they're actually moving in quite aggressively. Kazarok taking down Layla, that's a drop! And then Joe and UFC going down as well. That is prime time for SDCK to go in with the Uber truck, and they do that. There's just included middle with his conch to protect B from this onslaught of blue bodies, but they're just going in. Poker's all the way in that little chokehold there. Behind by Yahoo just burns him down. This teleporter going down, and B is just free real estate as well, it seems, CeeJaey.
It is. That is disaster for Feila. And how often do we say this, Jake? One mistake can cost you an entire round on this. And it's all about how Feila are going to adapt here. They're playing on shelf in the BC connector, and they have, what, a 15-20% disad? If they get caught out with an Uber here, it could be curtains for the entire round. They have to be smart.
Door slowly opening. They're getting ready here, blue team. Prayer has that slight advantage. He's not fulfilling as fast. Porky, they're on to Sandberg, getting a kill on the heavy in that crucial position here. It looks like the entire red team is just holding C. They know that the blues are coming through that chokehold, so they kind of comfortably can sit there. Kazarok getting a headshot on the Porky, opening those sidelines yet again, and there goes Jack Legs finding Joe. Layla is nowhere to be seen. She's about to hit 100%, may be able to block this point from getting capped, but Jack's Legs is already there. This keeps jumping in as well, cleaning up Poker yet again, and there comes Sprayer with his team on the C point, and I do think they're just going to cap it relatively easily, with Layla letting this one go and opting to just save this Uber for another day.
It's smart. It's smart. Sometimes you have to do that. We see this on payload. You know, like we saw on Badwater.
Wait, Proki getting no spray. That's another drop, and that's a drop from the side of the attackers. SDCK losing their medic.
I think we saw like 1 drop in the first 2 maps, didn't we? I mean,
yeah.
We've seen like double the drops in the past minute, Jake, than we had in this first 2 maps. Absolutely crazy. But I think SDCK are going to capture D as well. It looks like... Oh, Sprayer goes down again.
What?
Where's it on the spawn camp?
That is incredible, and that's so sad for Sprayer. The red team is just kind of struggling. Lela popping Uber, but she has nobody to flash. That's unfortunate. She's dropping Proki there. Now she's getting blocked. No way. She's getting a saw out. And no! That is just such a roller coaster of sad emotions. Credo finishes her off, and she goes through the gate. That's so unfortunate with only Lilypad spam fest for the red team being up and E point up for grabs. D locations blocked off. There's not many avenues for the red team to push onto E point, CeeJaey.
I mean, it's going to take a defense and a half to stop them here. As someone falls into the pit, that's Clark. He goes down and Poker's doing the best he can. Actually, he's buying some more time, but everyone else is just farming. Layla goes down to a Disky, Yahoo and Zaman getting on in the action as well. Credu winning the scout battle against Kunu, and they are going to cap this. There's about 4 minutes to spare. Very, very fast, and like we said, a couple of mistakes. All it takes is 1 mistake, and it looked like Feila had adapted. They got the drop onto Sprayer, and then from there on, it just all went wrong.
Yep, Sprayer couldn't stay alive. He constantly kept respawning, but Meza was there waiting in the shadows with that revolver, taking him down every single time he saw that medic head. And it's just unfortunate for Feila at this point, losing this map in such a fashion. Or not Feila. Wait. Who did win this round?
SDCK just won.
There you go. Feila is just it's just unfortunate for them. It really is unfortunate for them. They fought well in the first round, but right now they kind of like it just went wrong in all the wrong places. And now we are down to the, well, not really a match point just yet. Or it is kind of a match point. It is a match point. This is last game of tonight, ladies and gentlemen. As this is CP Steel currently watching SDCK versus Feila. I mean, CeeJaey, honestly, do you really think it's going to go down to the 3rd round?
I think it might.
At this rate,
it could. I mean, a lot of teams like to defend first. A lot of teams prefer on, payload and attack defense to defend first, because then it gives them a target to aim for when they're attacking. So at the moment, SDCK are going to be in the blue. They're attacking first. They'll set a time, and Feila will have a time, a target to beat. So maybe they prefer that, and I mean, it is their map choice, so maybe they've got something hidden on their sleeve.
Whew. Well, it's been a long time, ladies and gentlemen, but we're reaching the end. Both teams are tired. We are tired. Wiethoofd is tired. And the first kill goes the way of Lilypad, taking down Yahoo. The Pyro just kind of there, taking the sentries full blast, and now they're slowly walking in at Disky and his team into that small choke point. They decide not to. It's just too much damage going on. A point slowly getting capped. Yahoo getting in front again. He's gonna get cleaned up as well, I do think. Oh, but what a pipe with a double kill. Disky and Sandberg both going down to a one well-placed pipe by the Demo Man. And now, B point is relatively safe. There's Clark with a level 3 sentry. He's just moving on to E. Are they planning an E push straight away?
I reckon they could be. I mean, SDCK have done this in the past, and they've been pretty good at it. They've got Clark rotating a sentry. A Disky is there. They're doing it. They're doing it. And Kunu sees them. He's going to tell his team, but it might be too late. They're on the rotate, but they have to block this BC connector. The Uber's used onto Yahoo. Vcox needs to push him away, and he can't. And they're just getting pushed around here, Jake. It's a pinball machine. Poker's gone down. This is not looking good for Feila right now.
Oh no, but their Sprayer goes down as well, and Kunu Middle just uses the respawn that they have, the locker there, getting cleaned up and taking that sentry as well as he dies, and then Sandberg going down to Joe and UFC. And it seemingly seems that Joe and his team, Feila, JOEYOTECH, is able to stabilize this point here, Proki, with a finishing kill onto a Disky who is just kind of on E point, just to stay there. I mean, he was low in health, there's just not much damage to be done. Jakeowaty's barrely staying alive as well, doing some nice damage in that choke point, but with B still up for grabs and just as much mayhem as is going on, Yahoo getting cleaned up as well, setting Poker and Layla on fire, but not enough damage to get them both down. just mayhem at this point, and I think is SDCK trying to go for E-push yet again?
Yeah, I mean,
Clark
I
is
would have
building
said,
up there.
Yeah, he's building a sentry up there, and Kazarok's in the window, so he can watch the spawn. Anyone opens that door, you see Middle just teasing the door. He can snipe anyone as they walk out. I'm going to dare say that's a bit of a misplay from SDCK, because there was, what, 5, 6 players down for Feila. They could have just rotated around and gone for B, which is what they're trying to do now, actually. So I take that back. They've got the heals there. Adiski, Jakeowaty, and Sandbird are all there. Big jump in from Joe, trying to jump around and get some damage down. Spray is only at 50%, but he's out safe and dry. And even though they clean up the players, Jake, they're now at uber disadvantage, and they're split between B and E.
It's not an ideal situation. If you're on defense and you're splitting your defense so thin, it's just all it takes is one well-placed push from the enemy team to get it dismantled, and that's what they're doing. Actually, Meza cleaning up Z-Man with a shift in the face. Now Kuno getting a double there. Sandmer and Clark, and then triple onto Kazarok. What is this man doing on the backline? Finding that teleport, this aggressive teleport, and they finally include the middle.
Biggest pick, the teleport.
I mean, it was so well placed. Like, I would not have expected the engineer to put a teleporter there, honestly. It was so well hidden there, and they finally managed to spot it out, so no more reinforcements attacking the back line. With B-point getting capped by SDCK, now they're moving and a spread out. A sprayer with 100%, Layla only 70, they have to pop at this point. Look how many Reds are on the sea right now, and they're all back in spawn, too afraid of the shiny man.
Yeah, they're at 90% though, and there's no cap time. There is cap time now, its time is 5. Oh,
they're letting this one go.
Not calling it. They're not going for C. I mean, I was wondering whether Joe would have wanted to go in Uber and clean up C, but he doesn't want to risk it.
CeeJaey, look at this. Such a smart strategy, and this is what I'm talking about. Sentry gun in the lobby area, protecting from all sides. All red team is just holding in the lobby, making it very easy to rotate either E or D point. You also have respawns on the other side for a, kind of like a double side clench, and now Jackie is just getting blown all to bits. Credit also going down, and I do not think that the SDCK is prepared for this kind of strategy going.
No, I mean, they just, maybe they were stunned a bit. Maybe they were expecting the push onto C. They were just waiting for the Uber. It never came. They're like, okay, and they must be defending E. And that's what they're doing, and they've got everything set up there. They're really, really prepared. They are getting a few frags here. There's 3 down for Feila, but SDCK don't really care. They're just going to cap the point as best they can and just kind of tease out the players. They want to bait out this Uber, so Sprayer has an advantage.
They're to say that the one who controls the lobby is the one that is in control of the situation. But as I say that, 4 kills going to the way of SDCK. Now they're pushing with the Uber charge, tanking down the sentry gun put by Spamfest. Now the counterpop is coming out on Layla, but they're dropping Spamfest there. Now they're chasing off some players, but there's only a soldier and a medic in that lobby area. Z-Man is now on the medic. He's just gonna snipe Layla. They both go down. Kunu with a reconciliation prize, but Spear's still alive. E-point is getting slowly captured. Jakeowaty and Sandbird on the spawn camp duty. Oh, it doesn't look too promising for Feila.
That sentry is just watching both doors as well. Anyone gets even close to the point, they get shot by the sentry, as well as the 4 players on the point. Lots of players going down there, and it is going to be a much faster time. 2 minutes faster, in fact, nearly 2.5 minutes. 5:19 is the time posted by SDCK. So let's reiterate. Grand final. First map won by SDCK, second map won by Feila Esports. Feila are the top seed. They got to decide the deciding map, and they chose Steel. They lost the first round. If SDCK win this round, if they hold for 5 minutes and 18 seconds on this round, then they will be crowned Premiership champions for the 3rd time. However, if Feila are able to push faster, they will take it to a final round, Jake. A final round on this map to decide the champions of this season. It's going down to the wire.
This is the thing here. 5 minutes and 18 seconds to push 5 points. You can just skip the other points and go straight for E. But there's a thing though. If you manage to get a very good time on Steel, like 5 minutes 18 seconds, you're gonna expect the other team to go for the desperate strategy of trying to just get E. And if you are prepared for that, and you can defend E point, you're gonna bleed a lot of the time. And as you bleed the time, the other team gets more desperate, and it's a kind of like a perpetual mobile, where it just doesn't end. It just keeps spiraling down and down for the attacking team. Now, Feila's on the back foot. That's what we know. But they still have a chance. They still have hope to get this one done. They're getting a point capped as usual. Free realist, as you said yourself. The Sticky's a little bit more aggressive this time, and they may not be prepared for them just yet. They may hear them, maybe? Maybe not. Maybe they'll spot them. We'll see as they go through this door as it's getting slowly opened up. The Z-Man also in a good position by getting caught out by middle. Just one kill. The people are through the gate. There's a lot of players, and they get the double with the sentry gun as well.
That's so big. That's so big. I mean, I got a little tingly there because I thought I saw Layla and I thought, oh no, but it was Joe Heart Layla. But I mean, that's big. That's big. That's going to slow them down. I mean, he slows them down, but it's not the end of the world.
Pit. As Vclux go down to the pit, but Layla managed to get away with her Uber intact. It's kind of like they lost 2 players and they lost their sentry gun, which is very crucial if you want to go for E. And they just still decided to follow this one through. Thankfully, though, for them, SDCK did not really capitalize on this advance that they had, and they allowed Feila to regroup themselves in the lobby. But they're putting up a sentry, and they're putting most of the defenses in that choke point between C point and E point as well. And now with Joe and UFC kind of on the spearhead, he's gonna get pushed down. That's another pit kill.
It's another pick here. I mean, there's 3 down for SDCK. The Uber's going to be used onto Vclux. He's trying to get in there, and he's just taking sort of the brunt of the sentry. Does take it down. Kunu is also going to fall into the pit trying to cap, and he just slips off the point. And SDCK mounting a pretty decent defense at the moment, but Adiski goes down as well. That's a lot of spam potential removed, as is Clark. So he's not going to be able to build a sentry for another 20 seconds. Not looking bad for Feila at the moment, but they need some cap time, either on B or E.
Yeah, now, Layla goes down. I don't think that is something that they're looking for right now. Credu with the credit of the kill, getting finished himself by Spamfest. And at this point, you have to ask yourself, do we still hope to take E? Or do we go the alphabet route? And seeing how the defenses are built and where majority of the blue players are, this is gonna be a straight desperation tactic to take the E point.
Spray goes down! No. Spray goes down to Vclux! He's gonna... Joe falls into the pit again. I think that's the 3rd time this round. It was looking good. They had cap time on B from Poker and cap time on E. They've taken down the medic, but they're allowing Clark to rotate. He's getting that sentry, and it's just going to shoot you if you stand on the point. So, Feila need to make a decision here. Otherwise, it's going to be a 5th, Jake, a 5th runners-up medal for Joe. Joe has played in 4 grand finals in Prem, and he's yet to win one, and no team has ever lost 4 finals, which could be the 4th final lost in a row for Feila. They need to do something huge here. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock, and they've only got the A point so far.
As I adjust my glasses, the math says that if you want to cap last point from 0 to 100, it will take about 40 seconds with 3 time caps on it. The more time or players you put on that point, the better your chances at getting it. But the problem is, there's less than 2 minutes to go, and with Feila as scattered as they are, they finally decided to go for B push. Basically what they have is, let's say, 1 minute full, on and off the point to get it done. 40 seconds to just kind of do something about the situation. They're pushing in hard, and they're pushing in strong. Adiski going down in that locker. Here, Sandburn also. Jack as well. And then Sprayer getting cleaned up, and it's looking very promising. 1 minute and a half to go. Yahoo getting cleaned up as well. They're getting in right positions right now. They really need to solidify their defense at this point. Layla doesn't have an Uber charge, but could be very, very useful at this point. Kuda now on the point. The only player who is currently capping. As soon as the red team respawns CeeJaey, it's not gonna be so rosy anymore.
No, they're gonna have to mount. I mean, it's pretty much all in on E right now. Vclux is the only one on the point. As Kunu died, Proki's gonna take down Jackie Leg, so that's spam potential, but he's gonna go down as well. I mean, they need somebody else on the point to help Vclux. There is a sentry, there is a sniper, there is a demo. There's a lot of things trying to kill you when you're stood on the point. And we see a mini sentry just doing its work, trying to shoot Sandburn as he's going up against middle. He's going to win that fight. Kunu gets onto the point again. There is now 40 seconds left on the clock, but the cap is half capped. At the moment, SDCK have their players ready on E. They are 4 down. They're losing a lot of players. And SDCK they have to get into this. Z-Man tries to jump and misses the point. He's going to be down on the low ground. But big rockets from Jackie. This is so close.
This is incredible because Include now is the backline looking for some more kills. He finds Sprayer using a quick fix. No, he does not, as the Uber, actually the medic goes down. Now the Demoman goes down as well. There's only 2 people up. There's only 10 seconds to go with 2 times on the clock. They really need to get something done. Yahoo just jumping and sacrificing himself for this one. But there's not enough people to cap the point, only with Lilypad on the point. I think they just gave up as the point goes to the way of SDCK, CeeJaey. SDCK clinches themselves another gold medal for Premiership division, and Feila Esports yet again have to kiss and wave it goodbye.
It's
heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking is the word. Yeah, there's the Cinderella story. Can Joe get his first winner's medal at the 5th attempt? And it isn't to be. I honestly thought for a moment there, it looked like Feila, were in that round. They had 3 players left alive on SDCK. They got a bunch of people on the point controlling E. They just weren't locking down those spawns, and that's so important. Cap time is one thing, but locking down those spawns and making sure that the respawns from the defending team don't get to the point and kill your cappers, it's very, very difficult. And as it is, SDCK, like I said, they have the moves on this map. They've got the experience and one of the best teams to have played on this map, in my opinion. And it was very close, but in the end, yeah, they take it 2-0, and they will be champions for Season 17.
Well done, SDCK. That was hard fought. And like I said in the beginning, I'm going to kind of close this game before we go into logs with, it's been a long and winding road, but you took it home. And you won fair and square, SDCK. Congratulations on getting yourselves the first place of Season 17 Premiership of ETF2L, winning in maps 2-1 against Feila. Well done. But before we basically move on from this, logs, CeeJaey, logs, what do they say? What does the Oracle say about the logs here?
I'm looking into my crystal ball at the logs. Thanks. Shout out to Mr. British again for being our resident log combiner. And, I mean, the classes you expect to top frag on a steel game, you think in demo, you think in soldier, the spam classes, but it is in fact that man again, Kredu, 34 kills to 14. He gets one more than a Disky, who was pumping out 457 DPM, out damaging, Jackie also was going over 400, as was Joe, but I mean, Kredu picking up the frags. He was again killing Layla. He managed to get 3 kills onto the enemy medic. So, when your flank is getting 34 and 24 kills, your soldier and your scout, and then your demo is pumping up that much damage and just cleaning house, it's very, very difficult for you to do anything for the enemy team. I mean, middle there going 25 for 17 is the highest killer for Feila. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough for his team. Actually, Proki outfragging Kazrock there. One more kill than him on this map compared to the other maps where I think Kazrock got the more kills. But yeah, I mean, it's all about the little things, Jake, I feel. And I think logs on steel is... I don't know. I mean, drops. That's the one thing we were going to look at, right? Wasn't it? Drops. We had 3 drops in that game, which I think is more... That's like more than we had in the first 2 maps combined.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate Layla dropping 2, Sprayer dropping 1. But then again, it's chaos after all, and you can't really be having, your head on a swivel, especially if it's a steel map. It's just people can be coming from either side, and playing as a medic is very difficult on that map, in addition to playing, basically for like 4 or 5 hours straight beforehand. But thankfully enough, I mean, it's high octane game, pure adrenaline going all the way to the end, and it was just a complete pleasure to watch and see the action unfold before our very eyes, and it was a pleasure to cast this with you, CeeJaey, as well, as it was an amazing game.
It was. It's been really entertaining. I mean, we were wondering if it would go to 3 maps, and it has. But joining us here, we're not over just yet. We do have, we're trying to count 4 or 5 gamers joining us from the 2 teams. Coming in from SDCK, going alphabetical order, we've got Kaza, that's Kazarok, we have Clark, and we also have Sprayer. Whereas from Feila Esports, or Joe, I'm going to call you Feila Esports because that's just, old habits die hard. We do have Joe, and we have Kunu, who was merking for them today. So I'm going to start off with Congratulations, I think. Let's start off on a high note. Congratulations to the SDCK players. You've got your third Prem medal for you, Clark, I think. Spray, I think you might have got more. But Kaza, this is your first. You absolutely turned up on that first map. Did you feel after that first map it was going to be a good day for you, personally?
Yeah, I was really confident after the first map. It was like a really close game, but I was like, yeah, I trust in my team. And yeah, we made it.
It was a tense battle on the second map, but you definitely turned up with your snipes, and Proki as well. You kind of, the sniping battle was really intense, I have to say. But it's all about the sentries. It's all about the sentries on coal plant. Clark, you're the main man on coal plant now. Your class is the star. It's all about you versus Spamfest. Who can wrangle with a point better? How did you guys feel like on coal plant when you were 2-0 down? Like you really flipped it on its head. You came back, and then just to lose that final round. Like what was the morale like? What was the mumble like when you guys were gaming on that second map?
So the morale was good. After the second round, we kind of took like a tactical pause to discuss what's gone wrong, what we should do differently. I think I said that I think our team is restricting itself by playing around my sentry like Feila does around Spamfest, because we don't do it as well as them. So we just decided we're going to play a lot aggressively. I'm going to play on flank, and we're just not going to give them any breathing space at all. And that's how we won the third and the fourth round. But yeah, they kind of adapted to us in the last round, so we couldn't really finish it off. But I'm still proud that we managed to turn it around, even if it was for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, went on to Steel, and I kind of started things off by saying I felt that the two teams on show tonight were some of the best teams I've ever played against on Steel. You know, I honestly think of all the teams I've played against in Prem, SDCK and Feila really do have some good Steel strats. And Sprayer saying the other team out of the three, you know, that I would feel is better than you guys on Steel. The only team, I should say, was Chess Club, and that's a team, one of your former teams. Do you feel like Steel is a strong map? Were you quietly confident when it went to a third map that you would be able to seal it out?
I think it was random, really. Like, we were played with Feila, I think, early on Steel, like some scrims before the Steel week. We played quite a lot back then, but we really didn't expect Steel to be picked at all. We expected Feila to pick another King of the Hill map. But, like, I don't know, I thought they were ready for it. I thought they were better prepared than they were. But it turned out that it just went in our favor. I mean, the last round was pretty close. It was really intense mansphere in Mumble. But like, I think Steel was alright. I think either though we didn't have like, we just had a basic plan, and then we were just adapting sort of. We split our team a lot as well, and I'm surprised it worked. But then also we had Kaza hitting the shots and Credu doing insane frags, and most of the time I was not sure where our team is. Actually, I was like staying in spawn just waiting for confirmation of where someone is and can somebody pick me up. But yeah, it worked out pretty well in the end. It was chaotic, but it was alright.
Yeah, I mean, chaotic is definitely the word to describe that game, especially Coal Plant. It was just so back and forth. It was very hard to see where the game was going. You mentioned Credu there, who did top frag on some of the maps. I think it was 54 kills on Coal Plant. Kuna, you came in this, you know, you're more well known in Highlander at least as a sniper main, but you are, of course, a Premiership scout yourself. Did you feel confident going toe-to-toe to Credu? Did you feel that, you know, that was a deciding factor today?
No, not at all. It wasn't a deciding factor, and I wasn't scared of him. He's just one individual player. He's no one to be scared of. And if you do go into a game like that knowing, oh, this player might be better than me, you're never going to do well.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the perfect attitude to have, definitely. And Joe, I mean, I'm leaving the best till last, obviously. So I'm coming to you now.
What? Easy.
Just commiserations for losing. This is, you know, I'm gonna hit the nail right on the head straight away. Okay. This is another runners-up medal for you. Are you going to keep trying? Are you going to come back next season? Are you still determined to get that winners medal?
Of course, I'll play until Layla wants to stop playing, so it was a fun game. I enjoyed it, so.
Did you feel at the start of the day, after the map picks and looking at, who was playing, the lineups and everything, did you feel that it was within your grasp to win today? Do you feel you were favourites?
Yeah, I thought we would win. Yeah, I thought we could beat them on 2 maps, but it was just intense. It was a good game, so.
Was there anything you'd do different looking back? I mean, Badwater was their pick, and you could argue that, they would be the favourites to win that map, and then you could win on the next your 2 picks. What happened on Steel? Was it just the chaos element from Coal Plant carrying over, or was it just kind of some pushes that caught you off guard?
It was just mainly our comms. If we fix our comms, we probably would have played a lot better on Steel. I think our map picks were totally fine.
Okay, I mean, that's enough for me, Jake. I mean, I've done enough of the talkie. I think, is there anything that you want to bring up? Any questions for the guys?
I think the final question of tonight would be, will you guys continue playing into Season 18?
Yes.
I will, yes.
Didn't want to play this
we
season,
will,
I did
yes.
appear, so.
So you're staying together as a team, Joe, Clark?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is indeed what we're going to do.
Maybe change players, I don't know. We'll see.
Classic! Classic!
I'm joining back my team.
Nice.
Alright, guys, here's your 5 minutes to all the shout-outs. So, I don't want to have you all shout at the same time, but keep it PG-13 and shout anybody you want.
I'm gonna shout out my team, SDCK, for picking me up during the season, trusting me. Shout out to Ball, as always. I shout out to my best friend, watching the stream.
It's me? Okay. Shout out to the man's brother Henrik, who was watching the game. Shout out to my team, everyone involved. Shout out to Adiski for murking, because Alcor is in Scotland. Also shout out to Alcor in Scotland. Maybe he's watching, I don't know. And shout out to you guys for casting.
Shout out SDCK for the game. Shout out Feng Gaming, Hobbin and all that lot. And shout out to all my boys watching. I see you out there.
Me? Okay. Shout out to my past cam team.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Shout out to my team. It's been nice playing with you guys and this season. Also, shout out to Diski for murking. And, well, shout out to Feila for trying hard each season.
Wholesome shout-outs. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, for tuning in. Thank you guys for playing such an amazing game to watch and commentate on. As you always remember, if you want to help us out, you can always subscribe to the channel with your free Amazon subscription, as well as drop us some help our way on Patreon. KritzKast.com is also a venue to share, but that will be us for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. And
before we go, Jake,
yeah,
I've got some. This isn't the end of Highlander. Of course, there's next season, but it's not even the end of this season. Okay, because on Wednesday we have the Division 1 finals. Okay, so it's not the Prem Grand Finals. However, the winner of that game, the winner of that grand final, will guarantee themselves a place in Season 18 in the Premiership division. That will be between the top seeds, HLPugs.tf versus Weed Cake Sellers, who won the semi-final earlier on in the week. And of course, we do have the small matter of an award show at some point to decide the winners, who are the best on their classes from the most recent season.
Alright, so that'll be us for tonight. Thank you very much for watching, and one last time shout-outs. I'll shout out Bayer and Jorveth and Norbert for watching the stream, as they're asking me so badly. So there you guys, shout out to you guys, shout out to everybody who's watching the stream and, well, making this happen. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Hi, old beaver! Away!